is hard. So much has happened here. I mean, this was Grace's first home. But this new home, well, it's what we always dreamed about. And it's so exciting to think of what will begin here.
And I will do it for you.
Harry K. Ford in Winter, South Dakota has a large selection of pre-owned Ford Fusions. These cars range in price from $13,000 all the way up to $18,000, starting at only 7,000 miles on some of these units. This is a great car for your new family or fun vehicle. You're going to love the miles per gallon and comfort and class you get. Stop out today and check out these Ford Fusions. Talk to Kevin and the gang, because they won't be there long.
Rosenberg Implement was founded in 1937, and since its inception, they have always been your full-service John Deere dealership, headquartered in Winter. They now have grown to dealerships in Pierre, Phillip, and their latest addition of Nebraska stores in Bloomfield, Harrington, Laurel, and Wayne. Even with their past success, they understand that they need to continually prove themselves each and every day to earn your business and trust, and are committed to doing just that. Proudly sponsoring the Winter Warriors and Lady Warriors dream and the coverage of the pursuit of those dreams on Winter Warriors Live.
Sometimes the first step is the hardest. But guess what? You've already taken quite a few. So what's holding you back from taking the next one? Nothing.
Stop out to Frontier Motors and test drive the 2014 Ram 1500 EcoDiesel. The industry's first light-duty diesel engine boasts exceptional torque, reduced CO2 emissions, and the best fuel economy of any full-size pickup. There's no wonder this one's already a legend. Simply put, a gallon of diesel lasts longer than a gallon of gas. At 28 miles per gallon, that means fewer fill-ups day by day and serious savings for you in the long run. That's Frontier Motors in Winter.
Welcome to Nedved Bick Stadium in Wagner, South Dakota for broadcast of tonight's South Dakota High School Athletic Association contest. High school football, the Wagner Red Raiders hosting your Winter Warriors, Bob Connett and Marty Peterson. Marty, we're about at the 45-yard line tonight. Great seats, great weather. We've had great weather all year long. And looking forward to the season finale here, Bubba.
Yeah, we're down here in Wagner. They're always a team that's traditionally good, but fell on some hard times this year, and but always going to be competitive. It's the last game of the year for them, no playoffs for them. So if you're saving anything, we're going to see it tonight.
Yeah, certainly a game that you don't want to overlook. They come into the game 0-7. Probably a surprise to a lot of people, myself included. Wagner's been a team over the last several years that has played Winter very close. I know in the pregame interview, Coach Aker and I discussed that 2009 semifinal matchup between Winter and Wagner, a 13-12 game that was, to me, the best game I've watched on that on the new Warrior field. I know he references the semifinal game as well, that Winter Flanger game in 2012, but for my money, that 2009 semifinal game between Winter and Wagner, certainly one of the most memorable, probably one of the most physical and hard-hitting games.
Yeah, Wagner had a lot of good wrestlers on that team, a lot of hard-nosed physical kids, yep.
If you look at that rosters of those two teams and the amount of kids that are playing college sports off of those two rosters, it's pretty darn impressive between college wrestlers and Division I basketball players and Division I football players, Division II, NAIA. It's pretty darn impressive. But let's talk about last week a little bit. Let's recap last week's game. Winter faced Crow Creek in Winter. Certainly a bizarre game. 7 returns for touchdowns in the first 5 minutes of that game. Kind of a real bizarre night overall. Real dark night, small crowd, and I think people kind of anticipated a lopsided score, and that's certainly what it turned into. But it was just a point explosion with kickoff returns, and then Crow Creek comes back with a long touchdown pass to cut it to 2 points, and Sam takes another kickoff back, and then the interception returns and fumble returns. Certainly not an effort by the Warriors to run up the score. Just a couple thoughts on that. I've heard a lot of discussion on that. Special teams and returns, really our first offensive snap was almost 5 minutes in the game. We have 46 points on the board before we even took an offensive snap. And, Coach Aker has answered a lot of questions about that this week. There's a lot of talk about it. I tell you what, our first-team offense never did see the field. We had JV, we had freshmen in there by the end of the quarter. There was no effort to do that, but Crow Creek didn't punt at all, put us in good field position, Marty. I think we took over one time at our own 9-yard line. They went for it on fourth down.
They went for it on fourth down, yeah.
Yep. So our first possession started at the 31. Our second possession started at the 9 off of them going for it on fourth down. And the short field, it was just kind of the circumstances that led up to it. It's what happened. I know nobody wants to see that. There was no effort to put those kids down, and to their credit, Marty, I know we talked about it last week during the broadcast, those kids sure never quit, and it was pretty impressive. They were getting thumped pretty good, but I tell you what, they kept at it. There was good sportsmanship. The winter kids just played football and did their job, and not a game that I hope stays on the schedule for either team's sake, but just kind of the way it happened. Unfortunate all the way around. It was nice to get a win. Nice to come out of it with no injuries.
Come out healthy, yes.
Yep. But just kind of the way it played out, and I guess we'll just leave it at that. Some younger kids did some really nice things. Windsor Berry had a nice game. That was Marty's pick to click. He did a nice job on offense, defense, returning an interception for a touchdown. Sophomore Reese Middlesworth had a nice game in the middle as well, coming in. And probably that third depth level, but did a nice job on defense in particular. Talk about games around the area tonight. Burke South Central wraps up their season at Colombe. I believe that has some playoff implications for Colombe.
Colombe's on the at-large list, right?
Yep.
So that's a big game for them.
Yep. Cowboys will need to win that one to get into the playoffs and have a chance to move forward and play some November football. Gregory is rolling. Gregory, one of the top teams in the state, any class division. They're at Trip Delmont Armour. I believe that game is in Armour. Red Cloud at Todd County. We'll talk about that in a little bit. That's a game that has a lot of 11B playoff implications. And Jones County is at Lyman. In our
Red Cloud, another team that's on the playoff bubble at the at-large list, right?
No, they've got the 3 spot locked in their region, and could PowerPoints wise with their victory could change some things for the Warriors and a couple other teams. In our region, we have Bonham at Parkston, one of the matchups that we'll certainly be watching for a score from at the end of this game. Bonham goes in 5-2, Parkston unbeaten on the season. Nothing would make those two longtime rivals happier as far as the Bonham fans than to go up there and knock off top-ranked and surely one of the top teams in the state, Parkston.
And Bonhome's got the skill guys to do it.
They certainly do, and certainly a tough team. They get after it and play good football. Beersford has floundered at the end of the season. They were looking solid, and they've lost 2 close games at the end of the year. They're in trouble of being knocked out of the playoffs even. They looked like a solid 3 seed in our region. Now they could get bumped out completely through a wild card. They're sitting at 3-4 right now. Or pardon me, they were 3-2. They're sitting at 3-4 after a 15-14 loss to Sioux Valley, a 32-34 loss to Dakota Valley, and they have Elk Point Jefferson, who's 0-for on the season right now. So big game for Beersford in our region. And our opponents, where this comes into play, you get 3 points for your opponent's wins in the PowerPoint system. 6 of our opponents are playing games against each other. You got Mobridge at St. Thomas More. You have Chamberlain at Crow Creek, and then, as we'd stated, Bonham and Parkston facing off. Broken Bow is at Valentine. Broken Bow comes into that game probably a pretty solid favorite. That game played tomorrow night, Marty.
Yeah, Nebraska finishing up their regular season on a Friday night. we finish up on a Thursday here in South Dakota.
Playoff picture is kind of taking shape right now. We currently lead our region, but that it will change. If with a Parkston win, they'll pick up some extra points. You pick up extra points for having an unbeaten season. Parkston would move ahead of us. So we're locked in pretty much at that 2 spot, looking at game against Bonham. And actually, I think we probably would end up facing Bonham either way if my math is correct. So even if Bonham gets a win, knocks off Parkston, Parkston still, I think, could finish ahead of us. Nonetheless, we're going to play this one against Wagner. I think we're going to go ahead and cut away. We'll come back, and it'll be my pregame interview with Coach Dan Aker. We're going to go ahead and cut away, recognize some of our sponsors. We'll talk to you back here in about 10 minutes. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast of all Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior sports. Winter Warriors Live.
There's a new sheriff in the Wild West. Wild West Gas has now reopened under new management. It's the same old location, but with a new, fresh set of smiling faces, ready to welcome you each time you stop on by. As with any C-store sheriff, Wild West Gas is armed with the finest selection traveling needs to help you keep the peace on your next adventure. Wild West Gas is a proud supporter of Warrior and Lady Warriors Live Productions. And listen here, partners, stop in after the game with your game program, and y'all will receive 10% off your in-store purchases. Woo, doggy.
People say the good old days are gone, but Harry K keeps proving them all wrong. The K stands for quality, like the way things used to be. The best sales and service in Central South Dakota. Harry K, the people difference. Harry K, the people difference.
Field position can be a huge role in games. We don't really want to be noted for our punt team, and we don't really want to be noted for our kick return team, because that means you're giving up points or not moving the ball the way you want. But our coverage teams, I think, have been really good, and that field position is another critical factor in any game. So I hope they continue doing that.
This week's opponent is the Wagner Red Raiders. Is this going to be another team that tries to spread the field on offense?
What we've seen from them is they haven't really changed much. They've been doing since we started playing them. They'll run some double tight eye stuff and try to run the ball. But once teams have kind of maybe stopped that part of their aspect of what they want to do, they'll spread it out in some some 2x2 double slot stuff and some trip stuff. And that's what we hope to do. We don't want to shut their running game down and force them in those situations like we talk a lot week by week. But they're not scared too. They just they haven't had quite the athletes this year as they've had in the past to be really efficient in doing that. And I think honestly they may be better trying to run the ball, and so we may see that. But we've seen both things from them, so we've tried to prepare for both.
What is the message you stressed to your team about tonight's game with Wagner?
Well, we need to be playing crisp, clean. We got to play a really good game from that aspect. Penalties, not putting the ball on the ground, and making smart decisions. But I think it also ties into being confident and playing with emotion. And we mentioned the last few weeks about being playoff ready, and it's here. I mean, this is really treated like a playoff. May not be the playoff caliber, but we need to play like it is. And I like what we've seen in practice this week. I think that we're pretty focused. They understand where they're at in the season, and we need to be crisp. And we talked to them this week about Wagner's not going to blank the playoffs, whether they would upset us or not. So they've got seniors on their team that they know this is going to be their last game. They're going to play like it. And what you got to do with teams like that is you got to get out and start and play the way you're capable of playing right away, and not give them any thoughts that they're going to hang with you. And so I think the start of the game tonight is going to be really big for us. And but we need to be playing our best football right now. I think we've had some really good weeks of practice, but that's got to transfer in the game. And so hopefully that's what we see tonight.
Coach, turn back the clock. You talked about this being playoffs. Turn back the clock to 2009. Tell us about the emotion of that Wagner winter semifinal game here at Warrior Field, and really the magnitude of how that win has helped you accomplish what your team has done in the last 5 years.
That was a heck of a football game, probably right up there. The two most memorable. maybe weird to say that, but for me, the two semifinal games in 09 and 2012, maybe even more memorable than the state championship games that that they eventually led to. That game was different than 2012 because it was so physical. 2012, a lot of points being scored. I don't think any team really stopped each other. But that Wagner game in 2009 was just a slugfest, and they were good. They were really good. And what does that mean for building on? I think that carried over a little bit from 2008 when we beat St. Thomas More in the semis. That's when I really think we got the confidence going and really playing good football, and it's really kind of stretched out. But that was big because it was a step to get to the Dome again. And that game came down to extra points. They had a chance. They went for 2 to take the lead, and we held them out of there. And a couple big plays, but boy, you look at the names of the Koshers and the Gregor, and we had a lot of Kosher kids. These games have been, they're very similar to Bonham in everything they do. They're physical, they're hard-nosed, they run a lot of the same stuff offensively. So preparing for both those teams is kind of the same thing we do. But yeah, that was a really good game. We've had some really good battles with Wagner. I mean, they're just always they'll hit you, and they've just been really physical games.
Looks like we're locked into the 2 spot in our division, and we'll host Bonham for the 3rd year in a first-round game. They have a big game with Parkston tonight as well. Yes, SESD certainly shaping up to be a major player in the state playoff system again, correct, Coach? Yeah,
and they have been. And I would agree with you. I think that everything we have, unless Bonham would upset Parkston tonight, which would be a huge upset in my opinion. It's looking like it'll be Bonham again, and that's a tough first-round matchup. We saw them earlier, and it's the third, like you said, the 3rd year in a row. We know each other pretty well, and they know us. But it's a good conference. It was without question a great addition, not only for football, but for I think all our sports to see those teams. And we're developing some really good rivalries within the conference. But the Bonham and Winter and Parkston, I think, are 3 of the top 6, I would say, for sure in the state. So it says a lot about the conference, but it makes it tough for region play. I kind of go back and forth a little bit on the region play. I think proximity is always nice, but boy, when you have to see those teams right away in the first round, it's not an easy matchup.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Best of luck tonight against the Wagner Red Raiders.
Suffering from neck pain, chronic or acute back pain, or headaches? Tired of temporary relief from your current regimen of treatment? Here at Atlas Chiropractic, it's a different approach. Dr. Willowade of Atlas Chiropractic in Winter uses a unique technique that is gentle, precise, and effective. Are you ready for change? Call Atlas Chiropractic today at 842-1588 to set up your initial examination, or stop into 210 South Main Street, Suite number 4, and begin your path to permanent correction. Atlas Chiropractic is a proud fan of the Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior athletic teams and the coverage of their successes on Winter Warriors Live.
Do you hear that sweet sound driving down the road? You know the one, silent. WW Tire Service in Winter strives to deliver you a quality driving experience. They offer a huge selection of tires, ranging from Bridgestone, Firestone, Cooper, and more. But they're more than just tire sales. Their ASE certified technicians are able to care for all of your automotive needs. Their philosophy is simple: never promise more than you can deliver, and always give the customer more than they expect. Stop in or give them a call at 842-0884.
Welcome back to Nedved Bick Stadium in Wagner, South Dakota for broadcast of tonight's high school football contest between the 0-7 Wagner Red Raiders and our 6-1 Winter Warriors. Season finale for both teams. Winter will be receiving this kickoff, Marty. We actually caught the coin toss. Marty, it's kind of been an ongoing joke between the two of us. I think we've caught one coin toss. We'll see him out there, and then we'll turn our head and miss what happened. Marty and I were on the stick.
It's a matter of paying attention.
Short attention theater span sometime for me and Marty up here. But Winter will be receiving the kickoff. Looks like they won the toss and chose to take the ball. No deferral tonight. They just went ahead and took the ball. Tonight's opponent, the Wagner Red Raiders, as we said, the Red Raiders have kind of fallen on hard times. Winter has faced this team 13 times, and 13 times the Warriors have been victorious. This dates all the way back to 1930 when Red Shoemaker and Elmer Petra and Tom Leahy and those kind of guys were playing. Red was my grandfather, and I heard a lot of stories about their glory years in the early 30s. So my grandpa would have been on those teams. And then the rivalry picked up when Marty was a senior in 1985. We played for about 5 years there until I was a senior in 1989. Warriors picked up 5 victories there in the 80s. Marty and I were talking about that. That was the first game of the year, Marty, and we're right here on the river.
Always humid down here. It was, late August, hot, humid night. I remember all those games down here were like that.
About 90 degrees and about 90% humidity, and you drank the water and you hope you didn't cramp up. But
us flatlanders out there aren't used to the humidity.
Hard-hitting, low-scoring games in that era. And then we picked up in that 2009 semifinal game, 13-12. We touched on that already. One of the most physical high school football games I've ever seen. A 2-point conversion that was stopped by the Warriors that protected that lead, and then were able to get a few first downs at the end of that game and be able to take that victory. And then 2011, when we joined the SESD, we faced them twice, and then the last 2 years have been pretty lopsided scores, 35-0 and 46-6 the game in winter last year. A very, very dominating performance by the Warriors last year, Marty.
Yeah, just, had a good team again last year, Trace Meyer and those guys, and got off to an early lead and just held on.
Trace in particular had a monster game. If I remember right, he was over 200 yards in that game last year. Wagner, as we'd said, they graduated nearly all of their skill position players, and 0-7 this season. They've only scored 6 touchdowns on the season. They have played the toughest schedule in 11B football, giving credit where credit's due. After tonight, if things play out the way I see them, of the 64 games that their opponents are going to face, they're going to be 46-18. That's a pretty respectable schedule, Marty.
Yes, a very tough schedule, and just a little hard luck along the way, or else Wagner would have a couple wins in there and be fighting for a playoff spot out of this region.
That's right. You face an 8-0 Parks, and you face, I'm kind of guessing a little bit there, but Parks will end up 7-1 or 8-0. We're going to hopefully be 7-1 at the end of this football game. Bonham will end up either 6-2 or 5-3. They played McCook Central, who's unbeaten, so a lot of wins against opponents. And I would say they probably faced 4 of the top 6 11B teams without a doubt, and probably at least 5 of the top 10 for sure. So the Red Raiders 0-7, but they played a darn tough schedule as well. It looks like we're recognizing parents down here, and I think it's concluded here. Getting some pictures taken, but it'd be senior night, parents' night down here for the Red Raiders. I know they introduced the cheerleaders and introduced senior football players, so they're having a moment down here on the track. Let's jump into our Harry K. Ford store, keys to the game. Harry K. Ford store, one of the proud sponsors of football, basketball, volleyball, baseball coverage here on Winter Warriors Live. We appreciate what they do and all the sponsors of Winter Warriors Live broadcast. But our Harry K. Ford store, keys to the game. Number one, Marty, I've got play playoff football, and I also have execute beside that. You want to elaborate on that?
We're going next Tuesday. We're into the playoffs, just 5 short days away, 3 practices away. It's time to execute, have everything perfect, and make that run for the championship like everybody wants next week.
A couple of the things that have kind of hampered us as the season has worn on. We had some bad exchanges for a couple games there, and even last week some penalties, those mental penalties that we talk about, the offsides on offense or offsides on defense, those kind of things. So those are mistakes that you got to eliminate. They can certainly change the focus of the game. Maybe a turnover can be negated as a result of an offsides, those kind of things, and we just can't have that in the playoffs.
Yeah, every week, the margin of error gets thinner the deeper you get into the playoffs. So execution and mental preparation and focus are the big keys from here on out.
Number 2, I have be a top 5 team, and this is something that these Winter Warriors have been very accustomed to over the last 6-7 years for sure. They are familiar with everybody wanting to knock them off. They are familiar with what it means to win through the regular season, win in those playoff games, and to be able to go into November playing that. And I love talking about November football. The real teams are still playing football in November, so that's where we want to be. We want to be playing that November football, get through that first playoff game, get into the quarters and semis. That's when it gets fun for everybody. And the last thing I have, Bubba, finish strong. And that means close out this regular season. Let's come out of this thing healthy. Let's come out of this thing on a good note of executing, of not making the mistakes, of getting after it, playing Winter Warrior football. I think we're going to go ahead. It looks like about 16 seconds on the clock. Looks like we'll be doing the national anthem. We're going to go ahead and cut away. We'll be back in about 2 minutes for broadcast of Winter Warrior football live from Wagner. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
Lil Feller in Winter welcomes all fans and travelers to Winter. We invite you to stop by before or after the game for the best in snacks, drinks, ice, fuel, and much more. It's all available at the Lil Feller, your 24-hour convenience store in Winter. Lil Feller also wants to wish all the Warrior and Lady Warriors good luck on the season and in tonight's competition. We are excited to bring you coverage of all of tonight's action on Winter Warriors Live. And remember, the Lil Feller is the one for all your pregame and postgame convenience traveling needs.
Frontier Motors is a committed sponsor of the student-athlete activities in our area and are proud to bring you coverage of Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior activities on Winter Warriors Live. Frontier Motors in Winter is a full-service dealer for Chevrolet, GMC, Buick, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. They also maintain one of the area's largest inventory of quality pre-owned vehicles. With over 300 in stock, the best selection at the best price is at Frontier Motors in Winter. Frontier Motors on West Highway 18 or shop online at frontiermotors.com.
Hey sports fans, McDonald's and Winter Warriors Live have teamed up to present the Golden Arches Player of the Game. Each night after the game, go to the Winter Warriors Live page on Facebook. Winter Warriors Live page on Facebook. There you will find a post asking you to vote for the person you felt was the player of the game. Simply cast your vote by commenting with the player's name. All voting on each game's poll will cease 2 hours after the completion of the game, so don't waste a minute. Log in and vote. The winner of each night's vote will receive a complimentary value meal from McDonald's. McDonald's, Winter Warriors Live, and the Golden Arches Player of the Game. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. McDonald's is happy to sponsor the Warriors and Lady Warriors on Winter Warriors Live.
Welcome back to Wagner, coverage of your Winter Warriors facing the Wagner Red Raiders in the season finale. Wagner will be kicking off to our Warriors. Let's talk about our Hidden Gems Boutique. Picks to click for tonight. Marty, I've got Nick Hassel. Nick, the senior, had a great first game. He's had a good season all year long. Had an interception return for a touchdown last week and has just played consistent ball. Nick's a 2-year starter on offense and defense. Great kid. I look for Nick to bust a couple tonight. I think he's going to get to the edge and do some good things for the Warriors tonight. So my pick to click, my Hidden Gems Boutique pick to click, Nick Hassel, number 24, senior, running back and defensive back for the Warriors. Who you got, Bubba?
I'm going with Jordan Turgeon tonight, the sophomore, the reserve defensive lineman. You know, hopefully we get a lead. Wagner come out trying to throw the ball. We want to see those young guys up front get after it and get some sacks tonight.
I think one of the things that's really helped us as the regular season has worn on has kind of been that rotation in the middle there on defense. You got seniors Colton Best and Kelly Kidweiler that have started, done a nice job all year long. But as the season's worn on, we've seen a lot more of Chet Bryan and Jordan Turgeon coming in and spelling those guys. Of course, Kidweiler and Best both starting on offense as well. That ability to be able to give those guys a rest, get them a little bit of blow, really pays dividends when you get to the playoffs.
And in the fourth quarter of the games, you know, we've seen out at St. Thomas More probably the best defensive lineman we've seen all year, but he played every snap both ways, and he got wore down to that Feist kid. So
tried to take him out for a few plays. Winter rammed it down the throat, got a couple first downs, and they stuck him back in. And by the fourth quarter, I think the young man had just had worn out, and it took its toll for sure. So having that depth really helps. Marty,
and quality depth we put in there too.
Yes, yep. So we've got Nick Hassel and Jordan Turgeon, our Hidden Gems Boutique picks to click for tonight. Marty, it sounds like a broken record, but we've got 63 degrees. The flag's sitting straight down. It's pretty much been the same about all year long, even clear back to August, Marty.
Yeah, been a cool, great football year. You know, hope we can. You know, my old bones likes this rather than those cold playoffs, but we got to be mentally ready for that too. It's going to change next week and. Yeah. Each colder each week.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. I mean, we've had some moisture. We missed the snow that they got a little bit west of here earlier in the year. But we've been able to have some beautiful Friday nights, and they've all kind of been in this about 60 degrees at kickoff range. and just had gorgeous weather for high school football. So here we are. It is October 23rd. Like Marty was saying, playoffs starting next Tuesday. All the seniors for Wagner being announced here. I believe that's their seniors that have been announced. Some balloons being released here. And so we're just about ready for high school football action. Beautiful stadium here, Marty.
Yeah.
I know they've expanded it a little bit, but beautiful, but pretty sparse tonight.
Yeah, if you're in the area, come watch the game. It's a beautiful night.
A lot of great
seats. A lot of seats here. Like this stadium, it's steep. It's nice. It's nice and steep. It feels like you're on top of the field.
Different look here, too. The scoreboard is right across the field from the stadium. There's no seating on that far side where the winter bench is, but there's the scoreboard facing everybody right there. You're kind of used to it being in one of the end zones, not in Wagner, right across the field. Good distance, good view for everybody here. And we, of course, keep a camera on that scoreboard, and you're able to see the time on the quarter. We try to keep you reminded of that as well. But getting ready for kickoff here, Marty. I still feel that excitement when it's about kickoff time, and I have been playing for well over half a lifetime, but it's still a fun feeling.
Fun atmosphere in the stadium. They got the music going here until the kickoff.
Good tunes, too.
Good music on top of that.
Yep. Light them up tonight here.
And look out for Wagner tonight. No, don't hold anything back, because this is it for them.
They've got nothing to lose. Kicking off for the Red Raiders, big number 54, junior Hunter Hewitt. Deep for the Warriors, Sammy Nas and Latrell Turkleson. It's like it's going to be going to Sam. He fields it at the 10-yard line, gets to the 20, got a wedge to the middle, going to get to about the 30-yard line where he's going to be knocked down. Winner will take over 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Winner will be heading south on the field here.
Yes, north-south field. It feels right, too.
And, Marty, you would have been happy to see that in Mobridge. I'm not sure if you watched the broadcast.
Yeah, I did.
You were on assignment that night. But north-south field in Mobridge, always one of Marty's best points about a football field. Should be north-south.
Don't have to look in the sun ever.
Winner comes out in that standard double-wing formation. You got Sakshin in the middle at center, Krolikowski and Schroeder the guards, Kidweiler, Best at the tackles. Here's a first pass on first down. Galbraith looking downfield.
Nice play.
And that pass was intended for number 81, Isaac Nas. Ball batted down. Nice play on defense there by the Red Raiders. That's number 85.
Who was not on the program. Trevor Holiday. Okay, we'll switch that.
Trevor Holiday, number 85. Did not make the program. It seems like.
Yeah, he's 84 on the program.
84, okay. So, but a nice play there by that young man. 2nd and 10 for the Warriors. That's Nas in motion. Fake to him, and it was given to Haley up the middle. Short gain for Tyrell. 3rd and long for the Warriors on this first drive. And like you said, Wagner come out with nothing to lose tonight. They're coming out firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, they got 9 guys up in the box. They play that 5-3, and they got their strong safety up there, and the corners playing deep halves.
Galbraith, the quarterback, Nas, Hassel, the wingbacks, and Haley, the fullback. Here's that short pitch to Haley. Tries to get to the edge, and he's going to be wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. So 3 and out for the Warriors, something we're not real familiar with this season. 3 and out. I'm not sure that's happened all year, Marty.
No, great job by Wagner, though. Great coaching. They got going to force us to pass, actually, by putting 9 guys up there, and when we tried on the first play of the game, they covered it. So now we're thinking.
Yep, got to play some defense now. So Wagner looking to set up in good field position here. Sammy Nas back to punt. He lines up at his 20-yard line, waiting from the snap from Crockett Krolikowski.
Oh,
I think
flinch out here on the the gunner.
I think that. That's going to be against us, isn't it, Marty?
Yeah, Cameron Biggood's out here. The gunner flinched.
Okay. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Certainly not the start that Coach Aker wanted for tonight's ball game. Mental mistake there again, and the 3 and out. So we'll be punting now, Sam, at the 15-yard line. The line of scrimmage is at the 31. Ooh, that snap is a little over his head. Nas does a nice job tracking it down. Not much pressure from the Red Raiders, fortunately. Ball's going to hit and hopefully take a Warrior bounce. It's going to be covered there. Big Colton Best downfield and covering the ball at about the 34-yard line. So if Wagner could have picked a way to start this game, this is certainly it, Marty.
Yeah, they come out fired up. Seniors on your last game, they're going to play hard.
So Red Raiders will take over 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line, just on the inside of the 35-yard line. Lucas Young, senior quarterback, will be the signal caller for the Red Raiders, number 4.
Yeah, they come spread us out 4 wide.
4 wide. Quarterback is under center, slings it out to the right side. First pass is going to be completed, and it looks like Galbraith is in on that tackle.
Luttrell gave him a little spinal adjustment there. He hit him hard. It was a high throw, went up to get it. Luttrell hit him hard.
Luttrell started first half of the year or so at the cornerback spot and free safety, and didn't start a couple games. But I tell you, since he's come back and started these last couple games, you've seen a different level of physicality from that young man. He's done a nice job, and didn't take that adjustment negatively. He's really worked on his game and gotten a lot more solid back there, a lot more physical. There's another completion and a nice catch there on that 2nd and 1 situation.
Davian Zephyr, good concentration, took a whack and hung onto the ball.
So Wagner gets a first down, and they're in winter territory at the 45-yard line. Red Raiders get a 3-and-out against the Warriors to start the game, and they're moving the ball here. Got that spread offense going. They have ran 4 wide, and 4 wide again here in this same formation that they ran. Quarterback under center with 1 running back, and then splits to both sides. Young under center, slings it out there. There's a slant and hits it, and that's going to be completed. I believe that's Zephyr again. Nope, Steinway Marshall, number 8. He's going to get a first down. So Wagner, 3 for 3 passing. They've got about 30 yards passing here already in the ball game.
Wow, getting plays in quick too. They got us on our heels. They want to snap the ball.
Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Young under center, awaiting the snap. Getting pressure, and they try the inside slant to the middle receiver again, and that pass falls incomplete. Something that Mobridge had a lot of success against us early in that ball game, trying to hit the middle of the trips there.
And they almost had a lineman downfield, and ended up play before. Big number 77 gets out there and throws a lead block, and he almost seems like he's downfield.
81, Isaac Nas got good pressure off the end here on that last play and kind of disrupted. He was kind of in the passing lane. Young back to pass, looking the same way again, tries to put that out in the flat. I'll tell you what, that's going to be dangerous, and we're going to have a chance to make a play out there if they float one of those out there again. We got good defense out there, and again, Nas getting good upfield from that defensive end spot, kind of getting in that passing lane, make it a little tougher to make that throw. So
Isaac so quick off the ball and so long. He's 6'1" or 2", but his arms are so long, so hard to throw over.
3rd and 10 now. Big play for the Warrior defense. Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Young under center. Takes the snap. He's back to pass. Looking again. Middle screen set up. There, nice play there. Crockett. Krolakowski, the defensive end, the junior, sophomore, pardon me. That was Jaden Schroeder.
Yeah.
Sophomore middle linebacker right there. Johnny on the spot waiting for that pass and did a nice job of busting up that middle screen. They kind of tried the fake out there to the slant that they've been running, having some success with, and then tried to come back. Nothing doing with the winter defense. So it's 4th and long, 4th and about 7. Ball at the 30-yard line. 8:24 to go here in the first quarter. No score, but Wagner with a nice little drive. They've got a couple first downs. Trips to the right again. 1 to the left. Young under center. Back to pass, looking right. Nas upfield again on that rush. Here's a 1-on-1 coverage. Turkleson with a really smart play out there, Marty. He could have picked that ball off, and we'd have been at about the 3-yard line, but no, he just knocked it down. Winter takes over, 1st and 10. That's essentially a 27-yard return on a non-interception.
And it's unselfish team football because anybody got a chance to make an interception, they'll usually do it. But that was good team football there.
Yep, just clearly batted that ball down, knowing because he had position, he could have made the interception. But smart move there by Latrell Turkleson. Brownie points from the broadcast staff here.
Yeah.
Good play. So Winter takes over with their second offensive drive. I'm sure that the boys have had some conversations over there. It's time to play some football. Nas get with the carries. Sam making the first couple guys miss. He's going to get about 8 yards on that first down carry. Sammy Nas, young man that kind of got off to a slow start, didn't get a lot of carries in a couple of those early blowout games. But I tell you what, Thomas More, Mobridge games, the young man played excellent excellent football, and he's really progressed on special teams too, Marty, with the kickoffs.
Kicking, yeah, but like those first couple of games where he had basically off offensively, so he's got fresh legs still this late in the year.
He had one game, the Chamberlain game, 2 carries.
Wildcat here.
Yep, little Wildcat. Galbraith takes a shotgun snap, fakes the handoff.
He's
now
gone.
he's got an edge, and Nate Galbraith is going to go. Nate to the 20, the 10, touchdown, Nate Galbraith. Nate Galbraith with a 61-yard touchdown run for the Warriors. Puts them up 6-0. A little different look there, Marty, with that Wildcat package.
Yeah, Nate's usually you move a running back to your quarterback in your Wildcat, but Nate's just basically a running back that takes snaps. So
6'2", 190 quarterback, and with speed, like we said earlier
and
this year.
And physicality to run.
Yep, Nate's been a placer in relays the last couple of years, placed in the state 400 last year as well. And once he gets to that edge, he is going to be hard to catch for anybody except maybe Devin Grant from Crow Creek.
Devin's fast too, yeah.
There's a handoff to, I believe that's Tyrell Haley.
No, Sam.
Nope, Sammy Nas. Sammy Nas gets around the edge for the 2-point conversion. So Winter, after a 3-and-out to start out with, they go quickly. 2 plays, 70 yards for the touchdown. We're cut away for 30 seconds and come back with football action. 8-0, 7:20 to go in the first quarter. Winter with the lead. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on Winter Warriors Live.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in South Dakota are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Nedved Bick Field in Wagner, South Dakota. Winner with an 8-0 lead. Nate Galbraith taking it 62 yards for a touchdown. 2 plays, 70 yards. That drive took about 30 seconds, Marty. And that's what we're accustomed to, what we want to see more of. Giving Wagner credit, they stuffed us 3-and-out on our first drive, and then they picked up a couple first downs through the air. Winter defense tightened up. Latrell Turkelson with the smart play down there on the goal line, knocking down a pass, and then 2 plays and a touchdown. Nas gets a toe into it. That's going to be swirling towards the edge. It's going to be picked up at about the 15-yard line. Coming back across the field, makes the first guy miss. Is going to get out to about the 26-yard line. Steinway Marshall on the return. So Wagner will take over with their second drive of the ball game, and they'll take over 1st and 10 at about the 26-yard line.
Well, look for them to come out slinging it still. They haven't handed it off yet.
We complimented the DJ system here in Wagner earlier. Just had a little House of Pain jump around. I'm not seeing much jumping in the stands. There's a few more people, kind of a West Coast crowd here, Marty. I feel like we might be at a Dodgers game.
Is it the jump around? Is that the Wisconsin song? Aren't they?
You
Don't
bet.
They have that in the stadium?
Yep, Badgers, you betcha. Young, floats that up. That's dangerous, but I believe it's caught. I'm not sure how that young man came away with that. We had all kinds of people around there, and that was just floated up there almost like a knuckleball from a pitcher, Marty.
Yeah.
That's not going to work all night long. I can tell you that, because that's a dangerous pass, just putting it up there for somebody to make a play on, and that's a couple that floated in there. We're going to make one of those count here before too long.
And that's what Wagner needs tonight, is things to go their way.
Yep. So double splits both sides. Young looking left this time, puts it out there in the flat, and another nice catch.
That's twice now.
Yep, that's number 5.
David Zephyr.
That's the second time. Sammy Nas right out there in coverage and puts a lick on him, but nice catch out there by that young man. Gain of about 6. It's going to be 2nd and 4, so second time that Wagner's come out and completed a couple passes. 2nd and 4. Ball is at the 46-yard line. Doubles to the left, doubles to the right. Young under center. Takes a snap, looking to the right side. Puts it out there in the flat. It's going to be complete. It's going to be a first down catch. Makes a couple guys miss. And he's going to be taken down at about the 35-yard line. Steinway Marshall with another nice catch and did some nice things after the catch. Got about 15 yards after contact.
Yeah, we looked like we had a guy slip out there going out in coverage. This time of year, fields are dry, hard. Footing's You know,
Yep.
we haven't had rain in I don't know how long, but footing's an issue on these old hard fields this late in the year.
So here we are again, Wagner with the drive. They've completed the first 3 passes, picked up a couple first downs. They have it 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of the Warriors. Young back to pass, looking right. Now he looks back left. Over the middle, man is there, and ball is dropped. And that was been a completion for a first down. Might have made a run for the end zone had been able to come up with that catch. That was number 80, Bryson Zephyr. I think there's 5 or 6 Zephyrs on the roster here for Wagner. So 2nd and 10 now for the Red Raiders. We're at the 5:39 mark. Clock stopped after that incompletion. 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Young under center again. Winner showing blitz.
Oh, picked up nice by Lansing there.
That's completed by Zephyr, and he's going to get into the end zone. Nope, he's going to be knocked down at the 1-yard line. Nice catch. Same play as last time, but different Zephyr that time, and he comes up with the catch. It's going to put him at the 1-yard line. So nice job by the Wagner Red Raiders. I tell you what, Marty, he's getting protection there because there's not anybody coming up that middle that's causing any damage to Young.
We blitzed there. Lansing did a nice job. The back picking up the blitz. Zephyr catches a ball with his hands away from his body and runs after the catch.
We talked about dangerous opponent here. They've got nothing to lose. This is their playoff game, and they'd like nothing more than to put a W on the board against the Winter Warriors.
And prideful kids down here, too. You don't want to go out for your senior year.
Same formation. We'll see if they run the ball. Young center, quarterback sneak. He's going to be in there for a touchdown. They haven't marked it yet, but I'm sure that is. Yes, there it is. So touchdown for the Wagner Red Raiders. And Tyrell Haley came out of there with the ball, but obviously he must have crossed the line.
Reminiscent of Tommy Wilcox coming out of there.
Reminiscent of Tommy Moore with the fumble on the goal line. So Wagner Red Raiders get a touchdown. That's just their 7th touchdown of the year, and they make it 8-6. We'll see if they're going for 2 if they kick here. Looks like they're going for 2. Looks like they're going to go for the tie here.
You get every point you can in a desperation game.
Marty and I aren't high school coaches, but Young called number 5, Zephyr, out here, and the quarterback. I'm guessing it's probably going to come this way to number 5.
Yep, the fade. Go. Oh.
Sammy Nas with the interception in the end zone. So Young's pass is intercepted, but hey, Wagner Red Raiders come down, get a nice drive, take it 65 yards for a touchdown, get a little bit of momentum at the 5-minute mark. It is 8-6. We'll cut away for 30 seconds and come back with more football action. 8-6 your score. You're watching and listening coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
Mel's Auto is a dedicated sponsor of all the action of Warrior and Lady Warrior activities on Winter Warriors Live. If you want your automotive in-road ready conditions, bring it to Mel's Auto on 210 Polk Street in Winter. They have 3 full-time experienced mechanics on hand who get your vehicle back on the road fast. All types of repairs from oil changes to major overhauls and everything in between at the most competitive prices. They even pick up and deliver too. So when you need quality repairs of any type, be confident in Mel's Automotive in Winter. Call 842-2643 for an appointment.
8-6 your score. Wagner drives it right down our throats through the air, and they take it 65 yards on that drive and cap it off with a 1-yard quarterback sneak by Lucas Young.
First run of the night for Wagner.
First run of the night, and it's 8-6 when Sam Nas with the interception on the 2-point conversion tried that little fade with no luck. So Hewitt kicking off for the second time tonight. That's going deep. It looks like it's going to be going to Sam. He's going to field it at about the 10 again. Sam trying to follow that wedge, gets to the 10. Sam's driving out to about the 34-yard line, and it'll set Winter up in pretty decent field position. We'll call it the 33-yard line. Looks like it's where it's going to be marked. So Winter coming out for their 3rd drive of the ball game with an 8-6 lead, and they'll be 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
And this is what Winter needs going into the playoffs. You know, people playing with a high level of confidence against them, and just trying to play a complete game here.
A lot of passing teams left in the 11B realm. Ron Colley likes to throw the ball. There's that double reverse. There's a handoff to Nick Hossel, and Nick is going to get tripped up by one of the cornerbacks. He's going to get a gain of about 8 on that double reverse, setting him up 2nd and 2.
Big Colton Best pulling around, leading that play, slipped on the hard surface here. Footing's slick for everybody. Or else if Colton doesn't slip, he's out ahead of Nick and bigger gain.
We talked about the starting lineup, and I wasn't able to finish that. The ends tonight are Chase Kingsbury, Isaac Nas, both sophomores. So you got 4 sophomores starting along that line. When we run a split out, they'll bring Turkleson in and run him as a split. Sam Nas in motion, pitch going to Sam, wide side. Sam cuts it off the block there, and Sam still moving forward. He's going to get about 14 yards on that carry. It'll be a first down for the Warriors, going to be marked down at about the 47-yard line. So first down carry for Sam. Nice block out there on the edge by Nick Hossel, Marty.
Nick set the edge, and Sam got to the corner and made some hay when he got outside there.
Yep, the guy trying to turn that play in, and Nick just took him out that way. Sam able to cut it up then and get another 10 yards past that line of scrimmage. So nice gain by Sammy and a first down for the Warriors. Nas in motion, fake to him, Galbraith on the keeper. Nate's going to meet some turbulence there and going to get a gain of about 6 yards on that play.
Yeah, I thought
we'll call 4 yards.
I thought Wagner had that bottled up good, but we moved the line of scrimmage a couple yards. Nate, with his hard running, gets a couple more, and now it's 2nd and 5. We're right on schedule.
2nd and 5 for the Warriors. 3:30 to go in the first quarter. 8-6 is your score here. Tight double wing formation. 1 split left. Nas in motion, but give to Haley, and it looks like he slipped too, Marty.
Yeah.
Short gain. It'll be gain of about 2 yards. It set Winter up about 3rd and 3. Trevor Lensing on the stop there. Trevor, a very gifted wrestler, Marty. Wagner with a great wrestling tradition down here. One of the elite programs in Class B wrestling over the last decade or so, and really longer than that, but they've been very dominant. Wagner and Parkston, Winter, the SSD conference, strong wrestlers. There was that Wildcat formation.
Good
again,
second
Marty.
effort by Sam.
Sam Nas takes the handoff, and he's going to be right near first down line. And
Put it on the line, Bob.
I think he's got it.
Nope.
Marty,
that's a tough one to call because it's in the 2.5-yard area.
Marty,
there.
that's a unique way to measure that. It looked like they flipped the ball out to the official, who eyeballed it from a little bit closer and then sent it back to the hash mark. Marked it a first down.
Yeah, they marked it out there. If they would have needed to measure, they would have measured outside the hash. They wanted to mark it where he went down.
Here's that Wildcat formation again. Galbraith going to be bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by the attacking Wagner Red Raider defense. That's number 54, Hunter Hewitt, among 3 Wagner Red Raiders right there. It looks like they're just out hustling us at the line of scrimmage right now, Marty.
Yeah, they're playing well. If you showed up tonight and never knew any of these teams, you wouldn't think these guys were 0-7 tonight.
That's correct. So they're
got
coming
size and speed and execute offensively.
Yeah, we said it a few times. This is their playoff game. They would love to knock Winter off here. Give to Haley, and he's going to get knocked down after a gain of about 3 yards. Doing a nice job of tackling here. They're playing aggressive on that front, and they're doing a nice job of tackling. We're not getting the yards after contact that we have thus far this season, so hopefully we can change that. So it's going to be third and about 8, Marty.
Also doing a nice job. They're not overplaying. A lot of times that play right there busts because we let defensive lines overplay it, but these guys get their penetration and stop.
Galbraith under center. This is the pitch to Haley, and Tyrell's going to cut it back. Going to end up with first down yardage. He's going to get a gain of about 10 yards, or pardon me, of about 18 yards. It's going to set Winter up 1st and 10. Ball's going to be set just inside the 20-yard line. Looks like at about the 17-yard line. Nice carry there by Tyrell, getting some yards.
Yeah, we've had a lot of luck here outside.
1st and 10, ball at the 17-yard line. Warriors with a nice little drive going here, but Wagner playing some aggressive and stingy defense. Tight double wing formation. Nas takes the handoff. He's got a truck ahead of him and spins, Good aggressive running by Sam Nas. He's going to get a first down, gain of about 15 yards on that play. Nice job by Sam. Doing a great job trying to get yards after contact. That time got about 8 yards after the first guy got a hand on him.
Yeah, we had a good vantage point here. The hole was open. A Wagner kid, I didn't catch a number, closed it up fast, but Sam ran through the tackle and
didn't outrun his blockers either. Waited for and followed him through that hole. So first and goal. Give up the middle. That's going to be Haley. He's going to be near the goal line. Looks like they're marking it just short. We'll see when they uncover, and it looks like it is going to be right near the goal line. It'll be second goal at the 1. Tight double wing. Galbraith just going to sneak it, and he's going to be in there for a touchdown. Nate Galbraith gets his second touchdown of the night on a 1-yard quarterback sneak. So 14-6 your score. 6.4 seconds left to go in the first quarter. So a nice second nice drive for the Warriors running the ball. And Galbraith gets his second touchdown of the night, and it makes it 14-6, but we'll be kicking back off to Wagner. Marty, I'm guessing they're probably going to throw the ball again.
Yeah, that's you score, but the dangerous thing is you got to give them the ball back.
Double wing, that's Hassel in motion. Give to Haley, and he's going to get to the edge, get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So it makes it 16-6 your score, 6.4 seconds to go in the first quarter. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
DB's Bait and Tackle has expanded to be the largest dealer in South Central South Dakota. DB's is stocked with tons of tackler for your angler adventures and live bait. So whether it's bass, walleye, northern catfish, or whatever you want to catch, stop in and you'll agree DB's Bait and Tackle at 142 West 4th Street in Winter is your store with more. DB's Bait and Tackle, proud to sponsor all the Winter Warrior activities on Winter Warriors Live. Good luck in tonight's contest.
Welcome back to Wagner, 16-6 your score. Correction, aging eyes deceiving Marty and I. That was Riley Frazier on the 2-point run, not Tyrell Haley from the fullback spot. So credit Frazier with the 2-point conversion carry. Makes the score 16-6. Winter doing their damage on the ground. Wagner doing their damage through the air. And we're kicking the ball back to the Red Raiders again. Fun little football game here so far, Marty. Kind of contrasting styles.
Yeah, usually, when a team comes out throwing the ball, you can wait them out. They'll make mistakes, but so far, Wagner's been executing well.
And I wouldn't call them a lot of pretty passes, but they're hitting the receivers. And that last drive in particular, Zephyr and Marshall did a nice job after contact, getting some extra yards. Sammy Nas kicking off for the third time. This is a nice high kickoff, going to be fielded about the 15-yard line. That's Marshall on the return. He's going to get upended at about the 20-yard line. Looks like Cameron Biggins in on that stop for special teams for the Warriors. And I know you've said that Cameron Kyle, Cameron Biggins, chances are if it's a special teams tackle, one of those two in on it.
Yeah, we'll just assume that and then correct it if it's not.
So that's the last play of the first quarter, 16-6 your score. We'll be back in 60 seconds for second quarter action. You're watching and listening to coverage of the Winter Warriors on your home for webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
Plan on brightening up your home or office atmosphere? Need to warm or cool down the environment in your space? Then stop down and visit with Kutra Electric. Bob and his crew will shed some light with quality advice and direction on your next project. And when they see your vision for your next project, you can count on a team of professional servicemen to come in and get the job done in a fast and courteous fashion. And remember, we provide the same quality service for single light repair as we would for new construction or remodel. So call us at 842-1510. The store that always does the most for you is the Winter Food Center. We wish the best of luck to the Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior teams as a proud sponsor of all the action on Winter Warriors Live. We invite you to stop out for your everyday grocery needs, fresh produce, top grade meat department, incredible dairy section, and much, much more. Or for your special event orders, you'll always find what you're looking for at the Winter Food Center. And they always deliver speedy, friendly service at the Winter Food Center, the store doing the most for you.
Welcome back to Wagner. You are taking, Winner will take over. Latrell Turkleton knocked down one interception earlier. He went ahead and took that one, though. Nice play by Latrell. Had great coverage there. Was able to pick that ball off. That was Wagner's first offensive play. Had a little trouble getting out of our break there. And Turkleton picks that ball off. Winner going to take over just in their own territory at the 48-yard line. Nice defensive play by Turkleton there, Marty.
Yeah, good position, good inside position. We had help over the top, too, it looked like, or on the other side, and Latrell just uses his hands, makes a nice catch.
Double wing, Windsor-Berry now in there carrying the ball. He's going to get hit after contact, but drives forward. He's going to get a first down. Maybe just short of the first down, but Windsor-Berry took first contact after about 2 yards and then squirted out of that, got about another 8-9 yards. We'll see if they throw the ball over to measure it again. Nope, they're going to mark that as second and short. I think if they'd measure it, I think he's got it, Marty, but because this ball, I'm standing right on line with this baby, and it's the first down, but we'll call it second and half an inch. Give up the middle. That's going to be Harry. Ball pops out. It's going to be recovered midair, and that is number 8. I think that's Marshall, and he's going to dodge Galbraith, make him miss. He's going to take that ball back about 65 yards for a touchdown. Nice play there by that young man. Coach Aker had said we'd only turn the ball over 3 times coming into this game. That's number 4, and it's a big one. He picks that up, that fumble midair, and returns it, makes a nice play on Galbraith, makes him miss. 16-12, 11:06 to go in the second quarter. Nice play by the Red Raiders.
I was about to say Wagner's doing a nice job at the point of contact, but not finishing tackles. You know, that first down run by Windsor makes 8 yards after contact. This time they did a nice job and got the turnover.
Dangerous team to let hang around. Like we've said, they're 0-7, but they aren't playing like it. They're coming out here playing hard football, and Winter needs to step it up, get the effort going, and play Winter Warrior football like we talked about in our Harry K. Ford Store keys to the game. So Wagner coming out, attempting 2 again, 5 wide for the Red Raiders this time. Young under center. Might be the spot to just run a draw. Nope, he's going to run the little dump pass to the to trying to get it to Lensing there, and that ball's incomplete, but it's going to make the score 16-12. Wagner will be kicking off to the Warriors when we come back. Pardon me. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
How long should your dreams live?
Long enough to pay off the house.
Long enough to send the kids to college.
Your dreams should live forever. So help protect them with American Families Life Insurance. Use our online life needs calculator at amfam.com and call your local agent to find out how much coverage is right for you and your family. Your dream is out there. Go get it. We'll protect it. Life insurance underwritten by American Family Life Insurance Company. Home office, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Wagner. Exciting football game so far, Marty. Some big plays. Wagner takes a fumble back 65 yards for a touchdown, and they're right in this ball game, 16-12. Got a little emotion. The fans kind of getting into it, the late arriving crowd, but now a pretty good crowd down there on the south end of the stadium with Wagner fans. Winter kind of taking over the the north 2/3 or so of the stadium. Kind of sporadic Winter fans here or there. But Wagner certainly into this ball game, playing hard. Hunter Hewitt taking a timeout. So we're going to go ahead and take a timeout, too. We'll come back in 60 seconds. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
Rosenberg Implement was founded in 1937, and since its inception, they have always been your full-service John Deere dealership, headquartered in Winter. They now have grown to dealerships in Pierre, Phillip, and their latest addition of Nebraska stores in Bloomfield, Harrington, Laurel, and Wayne. Even with their past success, they understand that they need to continually prove themselves each and every day to earn your business and trust, and are committed to doing just that. Proudly sponsoring the Winter Warriors and Lady Warriors dream and the coverage of the pursuit of those dreams on Winter Warriors Live. Do you remember the days of the hometown general store where everybody stopped and everybody knew everybody? Today, with our busy lives and schedules, some feel we've lost that connection, but it is alive and well today at the M Pride. They want to know your name, how the kids are, how's your day going. We value community and hometown pride, but don't just think we're stuck in the past. We have all the modern day conveniences and comforts you need from us, and when you leave, we want you to have felt at home. We live in this town and care for this town.
Welcome back to Nedved Bick Stadium in Wagner. Wagner used a timeout. They were a man short out there in kickoff coverage, so they used a timeout there. They're kicking off 11:06 to go, second quarter. Winner with a 16-12 lead. Wagner with a nice drive with a pass for a touchdown. Then they were able to just pick that fumble up and take it a long ways for a touchdown. Turkleton's going to let that ball go out of bounds, and Winner will take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line off of the kick out of bounds. So another smart play by Luttrell there. You pick the ball up, maybe you get 10 yards on that return. But no, let her go out of bounds and basically get a 30-yard return out of it.
Yeah, good field position. Don't risk a turnover down here deep in your territory because things are going right for Wagner tonight. You don't want to give them any extra chances.
Correct. The third nice play of the night for Turtleton. Knocked the ball down on the goal line on a 4th down pass, picked the ball off, and just let that one go out of bounds. So smart play by Luttrell. Nice job by the junior.
And a good physical hit on that first pass completion of the night.
That's true. Winner comes out. Big drive here for the Warriors. We need to do something here. Galbraith fakes the pitch, keeps, and he's going to get to the edge, gets out, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 12 yards. What'd I miss, Marty?
Slipped on the track.
Oh.
We don't need anybody going down.
No, we don't need number 9 getting hurt on 15 yards off the field by any means. So it'll be a 1st down carry for Nate, and we'll be taking 1st and 10 now at about the 47-yard line.
Seems like a lot of juniors and underclassmen on defense here for Wagner, so the tough schedule's paying off and the youth.
Give to Haley, and Tyrell is going to get about 7 yards on 1st down, put the ball back in his hands after the fumble, let him get over that and keep the ball moving forward. Nice job there by the line. Nice job by Haley. We're going to credit him with 8 yards on that 1st down carry, so we'll call it 2nd and a long 2 for the Warriors. Ball at about the 40, what do we got? About the 46-yard line. 46-yard line of Wagner. So we're in Wagner territory. 10:30 to go, clock ticking here from Wagner. Man in motion, and that, I believe, was Windsor Berry, and he just, one of those turf monsters, grabbed a shoe as he came past there. It's going to be a loss of about 1 on that kind of fly carry there.
Yeah.
I think he just lost his footing.
That Lansing come hard on a blitz, didn't tackle him, but maybe enough to distract him, make that quick cut and on this hard surface tonight.
So 3rd and about 5 now for the Warriors. Ball right at about the 49-yard line. Put the ball in Sammy Naz's hand. Good thing's been happening. Sam's going to get a 1st down, gain of about 7 yards. I just am so impressed with the way Sam's been carrying the ball the last half of the season here. When he gets those shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage, it just drives forward. He's been good for about 5, 6, 7 yards every time after contact.
Low pad level. What do they say on runs behind his pads?
Yep. Sam, a senior, listed 6 foot, might be just a smidge over that. 195 pounds, he's certainly all of that. That's Barry in motion, fake to him. Galbraith back to pass. Open. He's got Isaac Nas. Is he going to overthrow him? Yes, he is. Just a smidge. He had Nas on the fly pattern there. Everybody bid on that play action, and Nas just not quite able to run under that one. So it'll set up 2nd and 10, but that'll be there, Marty.
Yeah, wide open, maybe a little more under the ball, or look like Isaac let up on his route a little bit early, but definitely an opportunity to score there.
Clock stopped.
We'll come back to it.
Yep, clock stopped on the incompletion. 9:28 to go in the second quarter. That's Barry in motion. Give to Nas. Sam busting off, and he gets to the edge. How far is he going to take this one? He's going to get into the end zone. Sam Nas with a great run. Breaks 2 tackles over there on that right side. So Sam with a 41-yard touchdown run, all individual effort. Great job by Sam. They got the edge sealed, made that defensive end miss. I think that was a corner that came up, tried to get a stick on him, no luck, and then he just outran everybody to the end zone. Great individual effort by Sam Nas. 41-yard touchdown run makes it 22-12 now at the 9:16 mark in the second quarter. Winner going for 2.
We've been having luck out on the outside on these 2-point conversions. Look for us to stay out there. You got you can run 30 yards and only need to go 2. Here's another one. We're outside. Yep. Sam's just got to get to the corner.
Pitch to Sam, and he's going to walk into the end zone that time. Nice block, lead block out there. Edge block there by Windsor Berry, and Chase Kingsbury sealed that edge nice out here on the left side. So 24-12 the score. Hey, don't leave. This is a great ball game. A lot of exciting things going on. We'll cut away for 30 seconds, come back for for another kickoff. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
Here at Farmers Union Insurance, they do everything they can to make sure that you have the right insurance for your specific needs. They understand not every individual or family has the same insurance needs, and insurance is not a one-size-fits-all type solution. You see, they look at themselves as an insurance consultant rather than the typical salespeople. Farmers Union Insurance Agency's presence within the community is more than just an insurance office. They are proud to sponsor coverage of winter athletics and students. Good luck this year to all the Warrior and Lady Warriors.
Welcome back to Wagner. Winner able to get a 41-yard touchdown run out of Sam Nas. Nice play there to the right side, breaking a few tackles, and then winning the race to the goal line. And then he is able to bring the two-point conversion to the left side on that little lead pitch play. Gets into the end zone, make it 24-12. Winner 3 for 3 on two-point conversions. Wagner's gotten 2 touchdowns, one after a nice drive through the air, another one off of a fumble return for a touchdown. They have not been able to convert a two-point conversion. Haven't been able to all year, Marty. Their 7th touchdown of the season, and they have not converted a two-point conversion on the season. So Warriors up 24-12, but a lot of excitement here in this ballgame. A lot of big plays, Bubba.
Yeah, and there's a lot of big plays left. Wagner's a dangerous team offensively.
A lot of time left here. 24-12 your score. Sam Nas kicking off. And there's going to be another high kick, going to be fielded at about the 6-yard line. That's Marshall. Gets to the 20. And, there's a stick. Let's get a number on that.
Chet Bryant.
Number 71, Chet Bryant, sophomore, with a double-leg takedown tackle there. And it's going to set Wagner up 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Nice.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Bubba.
You like a kickoff team when you can put a lot of 70 numbers out there and make big sticks like that at the end.
Yeah, when our defensive tackles are athletic enough to be on the kick coverage team, nothing wrong with that by any means. Double wide, both sides. Young under center. Looking right this time. Puts her out there in the flat. That very well could have been picked off. Sam Nas and your partner, was that Haley?
Tyrell.
That's Tyrell Haley in coverage. That darn near picked off. That wide receiver, number 21, Marty. Who's
Ben
that?
Soka.
Ben Soka. Sophomore. That's a wrestler. Is that right, Bubba?
That's a wrestler.
Yep. One of the quality wrestlers down here with the Wagner Red Raider program. Looks pretty small out there. Tyrell had quite a bit of size on him and had position on that ball, but just not quite able to come up with that interception. We'll see if he can get one here before the night's over, though. Back to pass, looking right side again. There's another one in the flat, and who do we have there? That was Kingsbury. Almost come up with an interception there, and then the ball almost caught in the little pocket there, but you're going to be 3rd and 10 now. Not much time running off with incomplete passes, kind of like last week. Clock stops on those incompletions, and the game slows down a lot if things aren't going well. I tell you what, my son played at School of Mines last year. They ran an offense like this. When things are going well, things go really well, and when you can't hit completions, that clock doesn't move. It can be a long night for your defense.
Yeah, you take 30 seconds off the clock and then got to play defense again.
Young with the pass out there in the flat, tries to bring it back over the middle, and kind of a hog-tie tackle there by Colton Best. Looks like he was wrestling calves out there.
He's a old calf wrestler.
Yep. Troy Best has taught his son well how to take those calves down. Nice job there on the tackle. He didn't get the wrap on it. Yeah, he didn't get the wrap. Okay, so they'll be punting. It's going to be 4th and 4, 4th and 5, 4th and long 4, short 5 here. Looks like Young is their punter. We've got, is that Galbraith and Turkleton back in double safeties? Nope, 14 is that Windsor Berry. There's the punt. It's going to this side to Turkleton. He's going to call a fair catch and field it. Field it at about the 45-yard line. I believe the fair catch was given to him after he just stopped. So probably a safety whistle there. Kind of a...
He signaled fair catch, but I don't know if it was a valid.
It was a quick sign. I think it was almost more of a hello wave. than the legitimate fair catch. I've seen that called. We got that called. Greg Warren made that call against us a few years ago for the illegal fair catch sign. But that winner will be taken over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Greg Warren, a longtime baseball, basketball, football official from Burke. I think their football crew's done, but Greg done many games in winter. There's a nice play by Mr.
Trevor
Lensing, knocking down Frazier in the backfield.
That's
Nick Hassel taking Hassel down in the backfield. Loss of about 2 on that play. Come on that blitz and met him there and said, "No more for you, Mr. Hassel."
He, big strong boy, stopped Hassel on that play. He wasn't going any further, and that's one of the few times that they made the play after first contact. So
2nd and 12 for the Warriors. Ball at the 44-yard line. That's Hassel in motion. Galbraith looking to pass. He's got him out there in the flat. That's going to be Hassel, I believe, on the catch in the flat.
Yeah, it was Hassel there.
Yep, Nick Hassel. What was that? Sammy Nas, pardon me, out there in the flat. Going to get a gain of about 15 yards on that 2nd down pass play. Set him up 1st and 10. Ball at the 42-yard line. They're in Wagner territory. 7:26 to go in the second quarter. Winner with a 24-12 lead, and got a drive going here again. Now let's play some Winter Warrior football. Get this ball going and get her in the end zone again. Galbraith under center. He's going to keep it this time and going to get taken down at the line of scrimmage again. Nice play there. That's Ben Sokup. And who we got, number 7?
Andrew Sokup.
Andrew Sokup for the Wagner Red Raiders.
Brothers, maybe, definitely cousins, I bet.
A few Sokups down in this area, Marty. A few Sokas, a few Chukas, a few
Zephyrs.
Yep. So a lot of big familiar family names. Kind of one of the neat things about following high school sports is you just see those names in towns that they just keep a name on the roster for a lot of years. A lot of uncles and brothers and cousins. It's just fun to see.
Dion Tennant down in Valentine says in Winter's program you just cross out the first names and put a different one each year.
There's a nice carry there. I believe that is Tyrell Haley going to get a gain of about 12 yards and another first down for the Warriors. Ball at the 30-yard line, so another first down by ground here by the Warriors. 1st and 10 just on the outside of the 30-yard line. Kind of settling in here, Marty. The line kind of taking shape, kind of getting yards in big chunks now on some carries. Let's see if Winter can take this game over at this point here as we're about halfway through the second quarter, 24-12 the score.
Yeah, I think on an average we're a lot bigger than them up front here, especially defensively.
There's a give to Haley, but not much doing. Going to get a gain of about 2 yards on first down.
Boy, they're doing a nice job at the point of attack there. And now here this list drive, they're starting to finish tackles.
What I'm seeing too, their defensive line playing really unselfish. They're very willing to just take on those blocks, keep their territory, and not allow that lane for the runner to get through. And then the linebackers, defensive end, doing a nice job of coming in, finishing things off. So good job here, execution by the Wagner Red Raider defensive line in particular. Got a couple bigger kids there up the middle. There's a give backside to Haley, and again, not much for yards there. Let's get a number there. Big number 60 for the Wagner Red Raiders.
Kyler Kafka.
Okay. Kyler
Truman Ashes, yeah,
Truman
61.
Ashes, 61. Defensive tackle, looks like he's playing that nose guard spot. Made a nice play, shed the blocker, and slid down that line of scrimmage to stop him after a gain of 1. So 3rd and 7 now for the Warriors. Double wing formation again. Wagner trying to get into it on the sidelines. Galbraith back to pass. Looking, nothing there. Nate running it. Nope, still not giving up on that pass. Puts it up there. Nice catch. The winner's going to have linemen downfield. Looks like we've got a couple guys clear downfield here. So this play's going to be coming back. But nice job by Nate, extending that play, waiting for somebody to come open, then puts it up for Sam Nas to make the catch. It is going to be coming back. Eligible receivers downfield. We had a couple of our linemen downfield there.
Winter receivers did a nice job in the scramble, Jill. find an open spot and help Nate out. I'm sure that's something we work on quite regularly. It's a scramble drill in practice, right?
Sure.
But
probably about as much as we go with our 4 and 5 wide sets.
yes, yeah.
So that's going to be a 10-yard penalty. Huh.
Oh, it's odd.
I thought that was a 5-yard penalty. Nonetheless, they mark it off, 10-yard loss, and it'll be 3rd and about 17. 3rd and 17. Galbraith under center. Nas in motion, fakes the handoff, slips out to that right side. He's going to keep it this time. Nate to the 30. Nate to the 20. He's going to have a first down. He's going to get knocked down at the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Warriors. 1st and goal for the Warriors at the 10-yard line. Nate picks up about 33 yards on that carry. And same thing as last time, Marty. Kind of floated out there to that right side, waited for something to come open. That time he tucked it, and got the speed and size, made something happen with it.
Yeah, Luttrell made a good block downfield right at the end of that.
1st and goal for the Warriors. Ball at the 10-yard line. Galbraith under center. Pitch to Sam. Sam following blocker. Sam's going to get into the end zone. 10-yard touchdown run for Sam Nas. His second of the night. It's going to put Winter up 30-12 with the 2-point conversion coming up. Nice job there by the Warriors on a 3rd and long situation. Galbraith making something out of nothing and able to convert that long 3rd down play. Get a first down, and then Sammy Nas takes it in, 1st and goal from the 10-yard touchdown run, making it 30-12. 4:10 to go in the second quarter. Let's see if we can go 5 for 5 on the, or 4 for 4 on these 2-point conversions tonight. That's Sam in motion. Nate with the keeper, going to stumble into the end zone. He's going to get the 2-point conversion. He kind of lost his footing there, but big Nate falling forward, able to get in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Makes it 32-12 now. We'll come back for the rest of the second quarter. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
No job is too big or small for the gang at H&O Electric in Winter. Whether it's a simple task around the house, to remodel, or new addition, to major construction, we provide residential, commercial, and industrial heating, cooling, and electrical work in winter. We can handle it all. Call 605-842-1117 for service or more information on your next project, big or small. H&O Electric is your authorized dealer of Crane heaters, too. Good luck in tonight's contest. H&O Electric is a proud sponsor of Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior coverage on Winter Warriors Live.
Winter Regional Healthcare is proud to sponsor coverage of Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior athletics and activities on Winter Warriors Live. Best of luck in tonight's event. Here at Winter Regional Healthcare, we are committed to professional care with a personal touch at our local hospital and long-term care facility. For more information on the services we provide, check out our website at winterregional.org. Winter Regional, proud to support the student athletes and activities. Honored to serve the families of South Central South Dakota. Remember, professional care with a personal touch at Winter Regional Healthcare.
Sammy Nas will be kicking off again for the Warriors. 32-12, your score. Bob Conant and Marty Peterson proudly bringing you coverage of Winter Warrior football here on Winter Warriors Live. Sammy Nas puts a toe into it, kicking it deep. This is going to be a touchback. Going to go into the end zone. Sam doing another nice job tonight on kickoffs. It's been a good thing for the Warriors here, second half of the season.
That's a weapon when you can kick it out and take a play away from them.
And start them deep in the territory. One of the things really killed us against Parkston was Wesley Dvorak putting the ball deep near the goal line or into the end zone, where we started deep every time. 26-yard line, our best starting point all night long against the Parkston Trojans earlier this year. And Sam has kind of turned the tables, been able to do that the second half of the season here, putting them 80 yards in front of them here. 5 wide this time, or 4 wide this time. Floats it out there, and it's going to be caught again. Looks like Steinway Marshall with another catch.
That's a big drive for Wagner.
Pardon me, that's Damon Zephyr on the catch, but floated up in dangerous territory again.
Yep. Big drive for Wagner, though. If they can score here, they get the ball to start the second half. Come down, score again. We got a They'll make it a ball game again.
2nd and 5 for the Red Raiders. Ball at the 25-yard line. Winner with 5 down linemen, 5-3 for the Warriors. There's a pass over the middle. Was that a catch?
Did he catch that one?
Yeah, one-handed
nice
catch. Damon Zephyr with one-hand catch. Caught that kind of the back shoulder, if you will, and was able to pin it against his shoulder pad as he came down to the ground. First down catch. Nice individual effort.
Have him on your fantasy team. Well, he catches everything you throw at him.
Nice play there by Zephyr. Young putting the ball where it needed to be. They've got him listed at 6'3", and
Young,
our local height expert, Marty Peterson, the wife, says that doesn't look right. Nonetheless, the kid's throwing the ball well. 1st and 10. He's back to pass, looking right side. That's going to be picked off by Latrell Turkleson at the 50-yard line. Going to get down to the 40 where he's going to be knocked down. Latrell's 2nd pick of the night. Nice job by number 7 for the Winter Warriors, the junior defensive back.
That time a late throw by Young threw behind him. Otherwise, he was open, and they had something going if he would have put it on the money. But Latrell making hay when he gets a chance. That's nice.
Latrell's 2nd pick of the night. Very well could have been his 3rd, but very unselfishly batted one down on the goal line there on Wagner's first offensive drive. It would be his 3rd. Let's see if Coach Aker puts her up right here, Marty. Might be a good chance.
Wouldn't be a bad play.
Nope. Give up the middle, and Truman Ashes puts Haley down right at the line of scrimmage. Truman Ashes, the big nose guard for the Wagner Red Raiders, having a great first half here, and puts Haley down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Truman only a sophomore. Another one of those youngsters on the Wagner defense.
I think that's the name I saw wrestling last year too. I think.
I don't know.
Okay, big kid. Big kid, and he's doing a nice job here in the first half against the interior Winter line. Double wing, 2:10 to go. Galbraith, this time he's putting it up. This time he's got somebody there, and its pass just goes short. I'm not sure if that was intended for Turkleson or Sam Nas, but it falls incomplete, kind of right in between the two of them. 3rd and 10 for the Warriors. Ball be at the 40-yard line. 2:03 to go in the half. We sure don't want to have to punt here. We'd like to be able to.
I think we're definitely 4-down territory here with the wind at our back, and
we'd sure like to capitalize on that turnover. We've been able to capitalize on one turnover earlier in this game, and it should be nice to get another one here. Turkleson split wide left, double wing. Galbraith under center. Back to pass, looking to throw. Looking this way, puts it up. And just over Nick Hassel's hand. Pass was incomplete. Was intended for Hassel. Falls incomplete, so 4th and 10. And again, a couple incompletions here. Slows down the game. We ran 6 seconds off in between plays there, so 1:57 to go. You turn it over here, Marty. 60 yards to go for the Red Raiders, 2 minutes. That's plenty of time the way they've been moving the ball through the air.
Yeah, a couple completions in there in business.
Turkleson on the line here.
Middle screen.
Back to pass. Looks like they got the screen set up, and nice job there. Was that Ashes again?
They have been doing a great job reading everything, reading our counters, reading the reverse, and they did another nice job on that center screen.
That was a big nose guard again. Truman Ashes out there busted up that screen pass, didn't get the tackle, but got first contact, and then the linebackers were able to finish the play. So Wagner gets a stop after a 1-yard gain. They force the 4th down failure there for the Warriors. They take over 1st and 10. Minute 49 to go in the first half, and like Marty said, they'll be getting the kickoff here. They'd love to get a score here. Let's see what the Warriors defense can step it up. Young back to pass. Pocket closing in a hurry. Turkleson just about got number 3 of the half. Kind of floated that one up in no man's territory again. Our own Jody Brozick has the interception record here for a game, and he thinks it's going down here. Jody may go out and break up a couple passes to keep that from happening. No promises. So if you see, he might even have his 44 jersey stuffed in the trunk there. We'll see. We'll keep you updated on that. Okay, so Wagner has it 2nd and 10. Young, back to pass, of course. Floats it over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. That was intended for Marshall. Falls incomplete. So 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10 for Parkston, or for Wagner. And now, Marty, we force a stop here. If they have to punt, gives us some time to do something with it.
And yeah, if they punt, you better play punt safe because, like I said, they're 0-6 right now, or 0-7. They might try to fake it on you.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
Hey, put the ball in the hands of number 7. Let's see if he can do something. He's having quite a night here for the Warriors.
For the Raiders. Oh, yeah, Turtles are true.
Yeah. Young back to pass. Floats that one up over the middle. Dangerous territory. And it is going to fall incomplete. Looked like Tyrell Haley almost had the interception. Then it almost fell into the hands of the Wagner receiver and falls incomplete. So 4th and 10, 90 seconds to go. And we'll see if Wagner is going to punt. It looks like he's going back into punt formation. Yes, he is. Lucas Young, the quarterback, also the punter, slides back into punt formation. But again, want to keep it in punt safe here.
Yep. You got to play for the fake.
Winner with the regular punt team in there. Let's see what happens here. You got Turkleton and Barry back to receive the kick. Looks like it's going to be going towards Turkleton, and he calls everybody off, takes a dangerous bounce back, and Wagner covers it at the 40-yard line. We'll keep it here. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Warriors at the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. So Winner with 82 ticks of the clock left here in the second half, or pardon me, in the first half, and a chance to build on this 32-12 lead.
Got a score here. South Central had a Clone 24-20 at half.
So a lot of points.
Late in the half,
24-20.
Late in the second quarter. Okay, we're getting information from several directions. Smartphones, they love them.
Had a question, a texter wondering what the record is. Jody Brozick has 3 in a game. I think Blake Gardner might have got 3 in a game as well.
Blake could have got 3. He dropped 2 of them.
Well, that was a different size ball. Weren't they using a different size ball? Jody says he didn't drop the ball ever.
Yeah,
so.
Blake blamed it on the ball not being regulation size.
Yep. Blake Gardner, administrator out in Hill City now. Great Winter Warrior football, basketball track. First down pass. That's Galbraith with a little mustard on that one. Goes over Naz's hands. And it's going to fall incomplete. But Nate got a little zip on that one, Marty.
I've seen Nate field a ball at shortstop at a hole and make that throw over to first base, too. Boy, he put some heat behind that.
2nd and 10 for Winter. They were able to get a first down when we were taking our trip down memory lane. They got a first down on the first play. That was an incomplete pass, and it's going to be 2nd and 10. 1:03 to go. Counter give to Nick Hossel. Nick gets there, and he's going to get about 20 yards on that carry. Going to be knocked down at the 25-yard line. Nick got through that hole in a hurry. Got 20 yards in a gallop, and going to set us up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Just under 55 seconds to go. There's the clock wound. 54 seconds and ticking here. Winner tight double wing this time. Galbraith under center. Nas taking the pitch. Making something happen. Gets through that next layer. Sam Nas is going to get in the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the half. It's going to make it 38-12. Sam just getting to that left side and making things happen, and lead block doing a nice job out there and getting through there and not getting touched until he gets to the next level, and that's the second time on long run that he hadn't got touched at all. So nice job there by Sammy Nas and the Winter offensive line. Makes it 38-12, 2-point conversion pending. Hossel taking the carry, getting into the end zone, making that one count as well. 40-12 your score, 42 seconds to go in the half. We'll come back for the conclusion of the first half. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast. In Winter Warriors Live.
Wings and more in the American Legion at 311 Jefferson Street is the official Game Day webcast host for all live productions. Game Day means tailgating, which starts at 5 p.m. and lasts through 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Mona and Kathy will start your pregame off with some incredible specials on their famous wings and beverages, and then you can check out their delicious dinner menu. Our Game Day hosting calendar includes every game, so you don't miss a minute. Plan on stopping by Wings and More for food and beverages and an incredible viewing experience.
The Winter Bowling Center is a proud sponsor of all the Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior action on Winter Warriors Live. For great family action, check out the Winter Bowling Center. We've got a great game room with pool, darts, foosball, pinball, and more. And we've got the best snack bar featuring delicious Mexican dishes, burgers, and of course, Stone Willie pizzas. Call in your order to 842-2287 for free delivery. We've also got an expanded casino room and can host all types of parties and events. The Winter Bowling Center, East Highway 44 in Winter.
Welcome back to Wagner, 40-12, your score after Sam Nas on a 25-yard touchdown run. That's Sammy's third touchdown scoring run of the night, and he'll be kicking off again here just under 42 seconds, 41.6 to go in the first half. Winner with a 40-12 lead. Wagner been troublesome for the Warriors through the air and then had a fumble return for a touchdown, but now Winner kind of taking some shape here. Short kickoff. It's going to be fielded at about the 28-yard line, and he's going to get hog-tied at the 35-yard line. That's Sokup on the return. Chet Bryan and Chase Kingsbury coming off the pile there with tackles on special teams for the Warriors. So 36 seconds to go in the half. 40-12 your score. Wagner taking over, and we'll see if the Warriors can get a stop here. And some of the dangerous throws that they've been making, you might have a chance to get a pick here and make something happen here even before half. Wagner might be smart just to hand the ball off once and go into the second half and see what they can do. Once on a sneak, right? No handoffs.
They haven't handed the ball off yet.
Back to pass is Young. Floats that one up. We're going to have a chance to make a play here. Yes, we do. Sam Nas with the interception, and he's going to take it back to the 45-yard line. Sammy Nas making a better night out of it with an interception, 3 rushing touchdowns. I think he's got 3 extra point runs as well. Now he's got an interception to his credit, and Winter's going to take over 1st and 10 with 55 yards ahead of him, a chance to put it pretty much out of reach here as we get to halftime. Touchdown here and a 2-point conversion would have that clock rolling in the second half. Marty sure makes those games go fast.
Yeah, as much as they stop the clock and many snaps as they take, running clock would be very beneficial to us.
Tell you what, we've put the ball up in the air a lot. Probably something that we wanted to work on going into the playoffs, and we've put the ball in the air. Boy, we've probably got at least 10 pass attempts this half, don't we, Marty?
I would say so.
Okay, Galbraith, he's back to pass again. He's looking. He got that screen set up to this side, and hey, is that Barry? Oh, Tyrell Haley.
Isaac Nas. It was a tight end
Isaac
screen.
Nas with that tight end screen out there in the flat. He's going to get out of bounds after a gain of 9 yards. So 19 seconds to go. Ball at the 46-yard line. 19 seconds to go. Clock stop. Winner got all 3 timeouts left, Marty, I
think
believe.
So. I was just going to ask that, I think.
No. Yeah, I think that's right. I think we've got all 3 left.
Yeah, Wagner took 1 timeout on the kickoff. That's the only timeout taken this half.
Here's a flat pass out here to Turkleton. Latrell on the jet. He's got some space. He's going to get to the edge. Latrell Turkleton is going to take this one to the house. Credit him with a 45-yard touchdown catch. That's a new play, Marty. And we haven't seen that one. Just Latrell takes a step, jumps back, takes that pass, uses his athleticism, takes it back across the field for a 45-yard touchdown pass. 46-12, 7.9 seconds to go in the first half. Nice play by the Warriors.
Yeah, Latrell, doesn't give him any chances to catch passes, so he's making the most of it. He knows what to do with it after he catches it.
Latrell hit
Great
the
night
Jets.
for him with 2 interceptions and now a touchdown reception.
Latrell hit the Jets on that one. Here's the pitch to Sam, running into a little trouble, but he's still going to get it in the end zone on his feet. That's going to make it 48-12. Way to capitalize on those turnovers. And we talked about that in my pregame interview with Coach Aker. We talk about transition basketball, turning turnovers into points, and that's something the last half of the season that the Warriors have done really well, is to take those turnovers and get some points out of them, whether that's through special teams, picking up fumbles and in interceptions, getting it in the end zone off of that. This time, and it's the second time this game we've been able to take a turnover and convert it into points. No, third time that we've been able to turn turnovers into points. So
and it's just stealing possessions. It's just so easy, or makes the game easier when you can do that.
Is that 2 scores that we've had in the last 2 minutes of the half here, Marty?
Well, we turned the ball over with less than 2 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So nice job by the Warriors capitalizing on things and kind of taking some momentum away from Wagner. They answered one of our touchdowns to make it 16-12. Since then, the Warriors have ran off 32 points in a row. And another thing that I know you like to talk about, Marty, is these 2-point conversions. We're 6 for 6 now.
Yeah, that's a touchdown and a half of free points.
That's 2 touchdowns. That's the 12 points that Wagner's got on the board right there. So nice job by the Warriors converting on those 2-point conversions. Sammy Nas will be kicking off for the 7th time this half. And as we said, South Dakota rules 35 points at halftime. The clock will be ticking. So this second half could go really fast here for both teams. Nas kicking off, probably going to kick this one short again. Yes, he does. It's going to be fielded at about the 20-yard line, and Marshall's going to try to get to the edge, cuts it back, makes a couple guys miss, and pays the price. Is that number 71 again there greeting him? Hey, Winner covers the fumble. Chet Bryan with the big stick and the fumble, and I believe, is that Cameron Kyle that covered the fumble? Yes, it is. Cameron Kyle covers the fumble, but it is halftime. That's the last play of the half. Winner gets another turnover, but that's going to be your first half. Winner with a 48-12 lead. Wagner comes out with a little bit of fire, gets a couple touchdowns, and then Winner really takes over in that second quarter, takes the steam away from him, puts a bunch of touchdowns on the board, makes it 48-12. Hey, don't leave anywhere. We've got second half action left for you. We'll be back in a couple minutes. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast of all Winter sports, Winter Warriors and Lady Warriors, Winter Warriors Live.
The Winter Bowling Center is a proud sponsor of all the Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior action on Winter Warriors Live. For great family action, check out the Winter Bowling Center. We've got a great game room with pool, darts, foosball, pinball, and more. And we've got the best snack bar featuring delicious Mexican dishes, burgers, and of course, Stone Willie pizzas. Call in your order to 842-2287 for free delivery. We've also got an expanded casino room and can host all types of parties and events. The Winter Bowling Center, East Highway 44 in Winter. Mathis Implement is a huge sponsor of Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior athletics, and we're your home for huge savings. We've got all the genuine Case IH parts, products, and service programs you need. Schedule your multi-point customized maintenance inspection now. You'll always find the highest quality parts and service, and the Case IH factory-trained technicians at Mathis Implement make sure your equipment stays up and running at peak productivity. Call Mathis Implement 842-3110 or stop out on West Highway 18 in Winter for personal consultation.
Life is fast and complicated. Keeping up with family, finances, insurance, and more left you in a state of falling behind? Then call State Farm agent Carrie Jones in Winter to find a simpler state. With Carrie Jones handling all your auto, home, and life insurance, things will slow down so you have more time for everything else and more money too. You see, by adding your policies with State Farm agent Carrie Jones, you can earn discounts up to 40%. And this all equals more you time and money. So call State Farm agent Carrie Jones today and catch up to a better state with State Farm.
Sassy Spurs Boutique has expanded. Check out our Western apparel and footwear for men, women's, kids, and infants. Sassy Spurs features Twisted X boots, hooey caps, Cowgirl Tough, Stetson, and Resistol hats, and Corky's footwear. Need some bling to go with your new threads? Shop our expanding lines of jewelry, purses, belts, buckles, and boot polish. It's all available under one roof at Sassy Spurs on the 4 lanes, and shipping is available by calling 605-842-2400.
How confident do you feel about your retirement? Ask Leiden & Associates, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, about the exclusive Confident Retirement approach. Together, you'll break down retirement planning step by step to get the real answers you need. Call Joel Leiden or Candy Sockjen at 605-842-3832 today. Offices located at 214 East 2nd Street in Winter, South Dakota, with offices also located in Chamberlain and Pierre. The Confident Retirement approach is not a guarantee of future financials results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC.
The right nutrition, animal health, and record management is key to having a profitable cattle program. That's why you want to work with the people at Farmco, who will take the time to learn your operation and help you grow your business. We are your full-service agriculture provider of feed, seed, animal health, farm, and ranching equipment built on terrific service. Get to know Farmco locally owned and serving you in Chamberlain, Platte, Winter, and east of Kimball at the Paragon. Visit us online at farmcosd.com. Farmco, feeding your future.
Computers and More, located at 660 West 2nd Street, is obviously your computer sales and repair business in winter. The More is so much other than you can imagine. We are your local outlet for Winter Warrior sports apparel. We do screen printing and embroidery for your purple and gold attire. Stop in and check out all our gear on hand for you to wear to the next game. Call us at 842-9057 for an appointment to see how we can design your company logo on all types of clothing. And remember, thanks for keeping it local.
There's a new sheriff in the Wild West. Wild West Gas has now reopened under new management. It's the same old location, but with a new, fresh set of smiling faces, ready to welcome you each time you stop on by. As with NSC Store Sheriff, Wild West Gas is armed with the finest selection traveling needs to help you keep the peace on your next adventure. Wild West Gas is a proud supporter of Warrior and Lady Warriors Live Productions. And listen here, partners, stop in after the game with your game program, and y'all will receive 10% off your in-store purchases. Woo, doggy.
People say the good old days are gone, but Harry K keeps proving them all wrong. The K stands for quality, like the way things used to be. The best sales and service in Central South Dakota. Harry K, the people difference. Harry K, the people difference.
Suffering from neck pain, chronic or acute back pain, or headaches? Tired of temporary relief from your current regimen of treatment? Here at Atlas Chiropractic, it's a different approach. Dr. Willowade of Atlas Chiropractic in Winter uses a unique technique that is gentle, precise, and effective. Are you ready for change? Call Atlas Chiropractic today at 842-1588 to set up your initial examination, or stop into 210 South Main Street, Suite number 4, and begin your path to permanent correction. Atlas Chiropractic is a proud fan of the Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior athletic teams and the coverage of their successes on Winter Warriors Live.
Do you hear that sweet sound driving down the road? You know the one, silent. WW Tire Service in Winter strives to deliver you a quality driving experience. They offer a huge selection of tires, ranging from Bridgestone, Firestone, Cooper, and more. But they're more than just tire sales. Their ASE certified technicians are able to care for all of your automotive needs. Their philosophy is simple: never promise more than you can deliver, and always give the customer more than they expect. Stop it or give them a call at 842-0884.
Feller in Winter welcomes all fans and travelers to Winter. We invite you to stop by before or after the game for the best in snacks, drinks, ice, fuel, and much more. It's all available at the Little Feller, your 24-hour convenience store in Winter. Little Feller also wants to wish all the Warrior and Lady Warriors good luck on the season and in tonight's competition. We are excited to bring you coverage of all of tonight's action on Winter Warriors Live. And remember, the Little Feller is the one for all your pregame and postgame convenience traveling needs.
Frontier Motors is a committed sponsor of the student-athlete activities in our area and are proud to bring you coverage of Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior activities on Winter Warriors Live. Frontier Motors in Winter is a full-service dealer for Chevrolet, GMC, Buick, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. They also maintain one of the area's largest inventory of quality pre-owned vehicles. With over 300 in stock, the best selection at the best price is at Frontier Motors in Winter. Frontier Motors on West Highway 18, or shop online at frontiermotors.com.
Hey, sports fans, McDonald's and Winter Warriors Live have teamed up to present the Golden Arches Player of the Game. Each night after the game, go to the Winter Warriors Live page on Facebook. Winter Warriors Live page on Facebook. There you will find a post asking you to vote for the person you felt was the player of the game. Simply cast your vote by commenting with the player's name.
All voting on each game's poll will cease 2 hours after the completion of the game.
So don't waste a minute. Log in and vote. The winner of each night's vote will receive a complimentary value meal from McDonald's. McDonald's, Winter Warriors Live, and the Golden Arches Player of the Game. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. McDonald's is happy to sponsor the Warriors and Lady Warriors on Winter Warriors Live.
Welcome back to Wagner. It's halftime. Winter with a 48-12 lead, and we come out early, Marty. Wagner stops us 3 and out on our first drive. Then we force a fourth down incompletion. Latrell Turkleson knocks down a ball on the goal line on a nice defensive play. We come back on 2-play drive and go 65 yards. Nate Galbraith, doing the bulk of the damage, gets to the edge with a 62-yard touchdown run. Naz's 2-point conversion carry makes it 8-0 at the 7:20 mark of the first quarter. Wagner comes back with a quick drive all through the air, except the last yard, which was by quarterback Lucas Young. He gets it in the end zone on a sneak. The 2-point conversion fails, makes it 8-6. Winter comes back with a nice drive, and Nate Galbraith caps that off with a sneak into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown run. And the 2-point conversion by Riley Frazier made it 16-6. That was your score at the end of the first quarter. Wagner comes back in quick fashion. They force a turnover. Tyrell Haley coughs it up, and that was after a Turkleson interception. Tyrell Haley coughs it up, and Mr. Steinway Marshall returns it about 65 yards in for a touchdown. The 2-point conversion failed. That made it 16-12. Since then, it's been all Warriors. Sammy Nas with a 42-yard touchdown run. He had the 2-point carry. That was at the 9:16 mark. Then at the 4:10 mark, Nas with a 10-yard run. Galbraith with the 2-point carry. 42 seconds left. Sam Nas with a 26-yard touchdown run. And then we get an interception and are able to get another touchdown. Nate Galbraith with a 46-yard completion to Latrell Turkleson on that little jet play, a little pass out in the flat. Latrell takes it right back across the field and punches it in. Makes it 48-12. Offensive explosion here for the Warriors in the second quarter, Marty.
Yeah, 412 yards total offense. We had 300 and some on the ground.
329 on the ground. First half. Wagner with 131 yards in offense. All of that but one on that quarterback sneak. Marty, they haven't handed the ball off tonight. No carries by a running back. The only run that they've had was that quarterback sneak for a touchdown. So they've got all their yards through the air, -1. Winner with 412 total, 90 through the air, 10 pass attempts by Nate Galbraith in the first half, 329 on the ground. Winner with one turnover, that fumble. Wagner with 4 turnovers, a fumble right there on the final kickoff, and then 3 interceptions, two by Turkleson, 1 by Nas. Winner's punted once for 35 yards. Wagner with 2 short punts, 22.5-yard average. Winner dominating time of possession with 16 minutes, but that's because we run the ball, and Wagner hasn't run the ball. They've only had it 7 minutes, but they've had 23 pass attempts. Lucas Young is 11 for 23 for 129 yards. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Winner with an amazing 17 first-half first downs, and we were 4-7 on third down conversions. Tried 2 fourth down conversions, failed on both of those, so 0 for 2. Galbraith 5 of 10 through the air, 83 yards and a touchdown. For rushing, Winner's got Nas with 123 yards and 8 carries for 3 scores. Galbraith 7 for 106, 2 scores. Tyrell Haley 9 for 37. Riley Frazier 4 for 31. Nick Hossel 3 for 28. Windsor Berry 2 for 4. Receiving, Turkleson's got the 1 big catch, 46 yards and a touchdown. Ike Nas, 2 catches for 23 yards. Sammy Nas, 1 for 13. And Haley, 1 for 1 on the screen pass. For Wagner, Davian Zephyr has really impressed us. He's got 7 catches for 90 yards. Kind of that Antonio Brown fantasy beast
and
there.
5 really hard catches probably in there that were hard catches or that he took big hits on.
One of the nicest catches we've seen of the year, where he's able to kind of catch that against his shoulder pad as he's falling backwards and keep possession of it. Steinway Marshall, 3 receptions for 36 yards. Defensively, Trevor Lensing, one of the better wrestlers in the area. Trevor 8 solo tackles in the first half from his linebacker spot for Wagner. Truman Ash has 4 solos and 2 assists from his linebacker, from his nose guard spot. Andrew Sokup, number 72, 4.5 tackles. He's doing a nice job in the middle there for the Wagner Red Raiders. For the Warriors, Nick Hossel's got 4 solos. Chet Bryan, 1 solo, 2 assists, a couple big hits on kick coverage. Marty forced a fumble on that last one.
Yeah, big kid, a lot of inertia there when he hit you at full speed. He put a big whack on you.
Sammy Nas with a couple tackles and an interception. Jaden Schroeder with a couple tackles. Turkelson with a couple tackles and 2 interceptions. And I know we've talked about it a couple times, but I can't compliment the young man enough. The first drive could have picked one off right near the goal line. Instead, he just batted it down to protect field position. So nice job by Luttrell. Probably his best half of football as a Winter Warrior. So nice job here by the Warriors in the first half. Again, Sammy Nas doing a great job in special teams with kickoffs, and he's got a 135-yard punt, a couple pretty nice little kick returns as well. So a great first half of football offensively for the Warriors. Defensively, need to tighten things up a little bit for sure. Wagner be able to get some yards through the air, but as we talked about, kind of making some dangerous throws at times, and we were able to capitalize on that with several 3 interceptions. Probably could have been 4 as we talked about. So 90 seconds to go. We'll cut away for 1 minute and come back with second half coverage. Clock will be ticking with that 35-point rule invoked. So it'll be a fast second half here, hopefully, from Wagner. 48-12 is your score. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast for your Warriors, Winter Warriors Live.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in South Dakota are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Mel's Auto is a dedicated sponsor of all the action of Warrior and Lady Warrior activities on Winter Warriors Live. If you want your automotive in-road ready conditions, bring it to Mel's Auto on 210 Polk Street in Winter. They have 3 full-time experienced mechanics on hand who get your vehicle back on the road fast. All types of repairs from oil changes to major overhauls and everything in between at the most competitive prices. They even pick up and deliver too. So when you need quality repairs of any type, be confident in Mel's Automotive in Winter. Call 842-2643 for an appointment.
DB's Bait and Tackle has expanded to be the largest dealer in South Central South Dakota. DB's is stocked with tons of tackler for your angler adventures and live bait. So whether it's bass, walleye, northern catfish, or whatever you want to catch, stop in and you'll agree DB's Bait and Tackle at 142 West 4th Street in Winter is your store with more. DB's Bait and Tackle, proud to sponsor all the Winter Warrior activities on Winter Warriors Live. Good luck in tonight's contest.
Welcome back to Nedved Bick Stadium in Wagner, South Dakota. Winter won the toss, and they chose the ball, so they'll be kicking off the second half. Sammy Nas busts one about 5 yards deep in the end zone for a touchback. That's where Wagner will take over with the clock rolling here in the second half with that 36-point lead. 35-point rule means the clock rolls. So with that snap, when the ball is snapped here, we'll get the clock rolling. Marty, want to take a chance, take an opportunity to wish the Winter High School cheer and dance teams good luck. They'll be going to Watertown tomorrow to compete in the state cheer and dance competition. They signed up for the state competition, and they'll be competing there. 5 o'clock, will that be covered on South Dakota Public Television? And the homepage, it'll be available on our homepage as well. So first down pass to Marshall. He's going to get a gain of about 4 yards on that bubble screen, bringing it back towards the middle. So completion. Signway Marshall with the reception, his 5th of the night.
And John Clute in here at defensive end starting the second half.
So we got Clute. Let's see who else we've got here. So we can
Kidweiler and Best.
Yep.
And I think we still got Crockett at the other end.
I see Windsor Berry out there on defense. Windsor been playing a lot in the last couple games. When Galbraith was injured, and then we just kind of kept his playing time.
And earned the time because of it. He's been having a great year.
Young back to pass. Right side. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Riley Frazier just about had a pick 6 on that one. Ball goes incomplete. Again, one of those passes just kind of floated out there. Young does a pretty nice job of getting it where it needs to go, but just isn't able to put much zip on it. Leaves a lot of time for a defender to close on that. Frazier made a nice play, but just not
great
able
play
to come
by
up with
Riley. Good read, because that's the first time that Lansing, the running backs, went out in the pass route.
So 4 wide, 3 to the right. Young under center. Rolling right side, looking this way, floats it up, and nice catch. Nice catch. That's Zephyr again.
Davian Zephyr. Yeah.
Yep, Davian Zephyr with his 8th catch of the night. Nice play there. That young man impressing me as a receiver here. Just kind of settled down in the hole and made a catch, went up for the ball. Good height and good extension to make the catch. First down for the Red Raiders. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So nice to see kids catch with their hands. Don't let it get into your body. That's a nice job by Zephyr.
Young man's got good hands. Trips to the left side, 1 to the right. Young under center. Back to pass. No, it's a handoff with a draw. And
John Clute on first contact.
John Clute. And that is Frazier. And number 60, is that 60? Who's that over there on that defensive end? Is that Wyatt Ewing? That might be Wyatt Ewing out there.
68, yeah.
Was in on that tackle as well. So gain of about 2 yards on the first handoff of the night for the Wagner Red Raiders. We'll call it 2nd and 8. Ball at the 41-yard line. Young rolling left. Oh, Isaac Nas ran right past him.
Kelly
Kidweiler, pardon me. That ball might be loose the way everybody jumped in there, but no. Kelly Kidweiler just looked like he was shot out of a cannon, and Young was able to slip around him. Young with a little better footing and agility there than Big Kelly.
Yes.
So it'll be 3rd and about 5 now. Ball at the 43-yard line. 8:36 to go. Clock goes in a hurry when it doesn't stop here. Back to pass. Big rush. That was Frazier on the blitz. And Turkleton, are they going to mark it? No, incomplete. That would have been a tiebreaker, record tire right there. Turkleton almost with the 3rd. And nice job there by Luttrell trying to get after that one.
I seen it bounce. It was a great effort by Luttrell.
Yep. So 4th down, we'll see if looks like they are going to go for this now. Nothing to lose here for the Wagner Red Raiders. Under 8 minutes to go in the second half. 4th and about 5. Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Young under center. He's back to pass looking right. Over the middle, ball's going to go incomplete. And Winter will take over on downs, 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. I'm guessing that Coach Aker may make some substitutions here, Marty.
Well, looks like we're staying with the.
Yep, looks like
Cameron Biggins or Cameron Kyle in there.
I see Cameron Kyle, so maybe a second-team backfield. Turkleton on the
a
field.
quarterback, I think.
That's what it looks like. Luttrell Turkleton taking some snaps. Drew Demers a little dinged up. He's missed the last couple games. He'll be ready for the playoffs, but getting Turkleton a few snaps here. Pitch, that goes to Windsor Berry. Pitch was a little high, but Berry able to bring it in, get a gain of about 2 yards. I've stumbled over that a few times tonight. I kind of feel like Porky Pig trying to spit it out there.
Once again, Wagner doing a nice job at the point of attack and finishing a tackle.
So it'll be 2nd and about 8 for Winter. 6:44 and ticking here in the second half. 2nd and 8, ball at the 42-yard line. Turkleton under center. Man in motion is Berry. Fake to him, give up the middle to Cameron Biggins.
Yep.
And he's going to get a gain of about 10 yards and a first down for Winter. Riley Frazier, number 26, Riley Frazier on the carry. Going to get a gain there of about 11 yards, It'll be 1st and 10 now. Ball resting just on the 30-yard line, nose on the 30-yard line.
Good, finally had some success with the trap play there. Wagner's been doing a nice job stuffing that.
There's the pitch to Cameron Kyle, right side, making the guy miss. Dodging and darting, and he's going to get a gain of 15 yards and another first down for the Warriors. The talented and fast, fleet-footed sophomore for the Warriors gets another first down. It'll set us up 1st and 10 now at the 15-yard line. Looks like we're getting some substitutions.
Yeah.
That's Kelly's
out of the game,
coming off the field. So centers or the seniors and starters kind of getting rolled in. I think that was John Clute that came in for him.
Getting brought off one at a time.
Cameron Kyle, right side, and he's going to drive forward and get a gain of about 5 yards. I want to take a moment and talk about Cameron. Cameron's a kid with great speed. Been running varsity track for a couple of years here. Started as I think he maybe even 7th grade started running some varsity track. But Cameron was one of those kids, middle school football was able just to rely on speed. And last year, a little different getting to varsity action. You see it this year. He's really progressed into a nice runner, able to do some nice things. Speaking of nice things, that's Windsor Berry with a 10-yard touchdown run for the Warriors. So Windsor Berry gets on the board. 10-yard touchdown run. It makes it 54-12. I'm going to close out what I was saying about Cameron Kyle. You see what Sam Nas has been able to do. Gets a lot of yards, gets those shoulders going forward, and moves forward. And I'm seeing that out of Cameron Kyle.
Cameron's turning into a physical runner. when you're fast and physical, that's a deadly combination.
Good things happen. Here's Turkleton on the keep, and it looks like he's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. And Winner will go with the 46-yard drive for a touchdown, capped off by Windsor Berry's 10-yard scoring effort. So 54-12, we'll cut away for 30 seconds and come back with more second half action. 54-12, your score from Wagner. Winner leading the Red Raiders. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
Plan on brightening up your home or office atmosphere? Need to warm or cool down the environment in your space? Then stop down and visit with Kutra Electric. Bob and his crew will shed some light with quality advice and direction on your next project. And when they see your vision for your next project, you can count on a team of professional servicemen to come in and get the job done in a fast and courteous fashion. And remember, we provide the same quality service for single light repair as we would for new construction or remodel. So call us at 842-1510.
Welcome back to Wagner. Tonight's ball game. I got to do a little bit of play-by-play guys back. Thanks, Bob.
There's some great popcorn here tonight. Marty and I
mistimed it a little bit here.
Marty and I, through the years of going to wrestling, football games, baseball games together, we like to critique popcorn. I'm going to give this 5 stars.
Yeah, this is up there. Good popcorn.
Very good popcorn here tonight by the Wagner.
Valentine over my life has been the most consistent popcorn. Good popcorn.
Yes, great popcorn down there, and they grow their own. They do grow their own down there in the Sandhills. Sammy Nas kicking off. Going to take a big bounce and be fielded at the 20-yard line. Going to get returned out there to about the 32-yard line. And BC number 71 coming off that pile again.
Chet having a great night on kickoff coverage.
So we've got, looks like mostly second-string defense in now. I see Brian and Jordan Turgeon in there on defense. John Clute at a defensive end. Looks like we got Cameron Biggins, Levi McClanahan. Cameron Kyle out here on a corner.
Luttrell still at free.
Caleb Brozick at a safety. Luttrell still back there at that free. You're right.
Looking for the
Yeah. Here's a pass over the middle. That's going to be tipped and caught. Goes through the receiver's hands, and then Chase Kingsbury not quite able to corral that.
Got a little short-armed on that one, waiting for the big hit.
Timeout by Wagner. This will stop the clock. 3:51 to go. We will break. Oh, the clock's still going. Should be stopped, but we'll keep her going. We're going to cut away for 60 seconds and come back with the conclusion of this football game. Winner up 54-12. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
The store that always does the most for you is the Winter Food Center. We wish the best of luck to the Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior teams as a proud sponsor of all the action on Winter Warriors Live. We invite you to stop out for your everyday grocery needs, fresh produce, top-grade meat department, incredible dairy section, and much, much more. Or, for your special event orders, you'll always find what you're looking for at the Winter Food Center. And they always deliver speedy, friendly service at the Winter Food Center, the store doing the most for you.
How long should your dreams live?
Long enough to pay off the house.
Long enough to send the kids to college.
Your dreams should live forever. So help protect them with American Families Life Insurance. Use our online life needs calculator at amfam.com and call your local agent to find out how much coverage is right for you and your family. Your dream is out there. Go get it. We'll protect it.
Looks like Wagner used a timeout there to bring some substitutions in after Winter brought subs in. Classy move by both teams. And there'll be a flag on the play. It looks like an equipment violation. Maybe somebody didn't have a chin strap secured. That's what it looks like. So getting that second chin strap buttoned, and it'll be a 5-yard penalty for the equipment violation. So it'll be 1st and 10. The clock should. No, I guess it doesn't start until the
We'll
snap,
start
does it?
after the play, on the play.
Fumbled snap. We'll see who covered that.
Pretty good scramble down
Yeah,
here.
there is.
Second down.
Marking it as second
Or
down.
third down, excuse me.
And all night long, it doesn't look like Young's come out of there cleanly with the ball. It looks like he kind of, I don't know if he doesn't have his hands under the center very well, but kind of seemed like he's kind of grabbing at the ball. And that time he just wasn't able to come up with it. So, but they, of course, we got some new. They got substitutes in there, so that's a new center for him too. So
shotgun for.
First time tonight we've seen that.
Oh,
there's
Levi on the blitz.
McClanahan coming hard on the blitz, and that's going to be thrown out into the flat, kind of dangerous territory. Looks like number 80, Peyton Antone, back there on coverage, got a hand on it as well. Peyton, a sophomore linebacker for the Warriors. So it'll be 4th and long. Lucas Young back in punting territory the way it looks to me. Looks back in punt position. And we'll drop Turkleton and Barry again to field the punt. 2:26 to go here in the fourth quarter. Wagner getting their last guy off the field there after some substitutions. So they got their 11. They're going to go ahead and try to fake the punt.
Zephyr.
Nice play.
Oh, that wasn't Zephyr.
That was Steinway Marshall.
Yeah, he's made great catches tonight, too.
Well, Wagner with nothing to lose on that.
Oh, flag.
Probably going to be a receiver downfield, and
Yep,
it is.
ineligible.
So that negates a nice play there by the Warriors, or by the Red Raiders. I don't know. I'm just kind of old school here. When you're down by 6 touchdowns, faking the punt, okay. So it'll be 4th and 25 now. Be 4th and 25 after the 10-yard penalty, and I would assume probably a punt situation. But that's, again, Marty, we've got some second-string kids out there. You got to be aware of everything and be prepared for everything, too. Oh, high snap. It's going to roll.
Throw it out of the end zone.
Looks like Young's going to try and make the pass out here in the flat. Oh, boy. Was that Peyton Antone coming over and put a big stick on the potential receiver. Nice job by Peyton making sure that was an incompletion. Nice play.
Probably should have been a flag for a lineman downfield on that one.
Yeah. Punt goes over, or the snap goes over Young's head. He's able to field it right back on the goal line. Had text message just come in wondering about first-round pairings. Winter looking like this game is pretty solid in hand. I'll tell you what, if anybody has the score of the Parkston-Bonham game and would like to text it to Jody, we'd sure appreciate getting that score.
You
to
don't want
see
to
what
give
that
Jody's
one
number
is.
on the internet? You would have.
I'm not going to just put it out there, but plenty of people probably have it. But if you got it, we'd sure be interested in what that score is. That it looks like we will be having Bonham in the first round. Here's a pitch to Cameron Kyle, and Cameron is going to be moving forward, getting about 6 yards on first down. Winner with a 42-point lead right now. If we get to a 50-point lead, that would be the ball game. It stops via the mercy rule, and that'll be the last play of the fast-moving third quarter with the clock rolling. So 54-12 your score. We'll cut away for 30 seconds and come back for the conclusion of this football game. You're watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
Rosenberg Implement was founded in 1937, and since its inception, they have always been your full-service John Deere dealership. Headquartered in Winter, they now have grown to dealerships in Pierre, Phillip, and their latest edition of Nebraska stores in Bloomfield, Harrington, Laurel, and Wayne. Even with their past success, they understand that they need to continually prove themselves each and every day to earn your business and trust, and are committed to doing just that. Proudly sponsoring the Winter Warriors and Lady Warriors dream and the coverage of the pursuit of those dreams on Winter Warriors Live. Do you remember the days of the hometown general store where everybody stopped and everybody knew everybody? Today, with our busy lives and schedules, some feel we've lost that connection, but it is alive and well today at the M Pride. They want to know your name, how the kids are, how's your day going. We value community and hometown pride, but don't just think we're stuck in the past. We have all the modern day conveniences and comforts you need from us, and when you leave, we want you to have felt at home. We live in this town and care for this town. Here at Farmers Union Insurance, they do everything they can to make sure that you have the right insurance for your specific needs. They understand not every individual or family has the same insurance needs, and insurance is not a one-size-fits-all type solution. You see, they look at themselves as an insurance consultant rather than the typical salespeople. Farmers Union Insurance Agency's presence within the community is more than just an insurance office. They are proud to sponsor coverage of winter athletics and students. Good luck this year to all the Warrior and Lady Warriors.
More substitutions in for Winter now with that first play of the first quarter. Carter Brickman is your center. I think that was Cameron Biggins on the carry there. Going to get a first down. It'll be 1st and goal now. A ball at about the 8-yard line. Getting a few scores coming through. St. Thomas more big over Mobridge. I think it was 45-6. 16-6 Hot Springs over Custer. That could have some implications for all of 11B. That's at half. So Hot Springs leading Custer at half. There's a handoff to Caleb Brozick. Caleb following Brickman into the end zone for a touchdown. Caleb Brozick scores for the Warriors. That makes the score 60-12. So this 2-point conversion attempt could end the ball game here. We'll see how that plays out. If we get a 2-point conversion here, that'll put an end to the ball game via the mercy rule, the 50-point rule. So we'll see what we can do here. Brickman under center. Brozick in motion. Brickman with the keep. No, he gets it, hands it off to Caleb Brozick. And Caleb's going to go into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That's your ball game, 62-12. We'll come back in 2 minutes and wrap the game up. Winter Warriors close out the regular season with a victory here at Wagner. So 62-12 is your final score. Come back and join us in 2 minutes for a conclusion and a wrap-up. You've been watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home webcast, Winter Warriors Live.
How long should your dreams live?
Long enough to pay off the house.
Long enough to send the kids to college.
Your dreams should live forever. So help protect them with American Families Life Insurance. Use our online life needs calculator at amfam.com and call your local agent to find out how much coverage is right for you and your family. Your dream is out there. Go get it. We'll protect it. Life insurance underwritten by American Family Life Insurance Company. Home office, Madison, Wisconsin.
No job is too big or small for the gang at H&O Electric in winter. Whether it's a simple task around the house, to remodel, or new addition, to major construction, we provide residential, commercial, and industrial heating, cooling, and electrical work in winter. We can handle it all. Call 605-842-1117 for service or more information on your next project, big or small. H&O Electric is your authorized dealer of Crane heaters, too. Good luck in tonight's contest. H&O Electric is a proud sponsor of Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior coverage on Winter Warriors Live.
Winter Regional Healthcare is proud to sponsor coverage of Winter Warrior and Lady Warrior athletics and activities on Winter Warriors Live. Best of luck in tonight's event. Here at Winter Regional Healthcare, we are committed to professional care with a personal touch at our local hospital and long-term care facility. For more information on the services we provide, check out our website at winterregional.org. Winter Regional, proud to support the student athletes and activities. Honored to serve the families of South Central South Dakota. Remember, professional care with a personal touch at Winter Regional Healthcare.
Wings and More in the American Legion at 311 Jefferson Street is the official Game Day webcast host for all live productions. Game Day means tailgating, which starts at 5 p.m. and lasts through 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Mona and Kathy will start your pregame off with some incredible specials on their famous wings and beverages, and then you can check out their delicious dinner menu. Our Game Day hosting calendar includes every game, so you don't miss a minute. Plan on stopping by Wings and More for food and beverages and an incredible viewing experience.
Welcome back to Wagner for your post-game wrap-up as the Winter Warriors close out the regular season with a 62-12 win over the Wagner Red Raiders. Marty, game started off pretty exciting. Wagner able to shut Winter down on their first drive, go 3 and out, force a punt. Then they're able to move the ball a little bit. Turkleson makes a nice play down on the goal line to knock down a pass, and we put a nice drive two-play drive together. Galbraith 62 yards to the edge and a touchdown. That put us up 8-0 after Naz's two-point conversion. Wagner responds with a nice drive. Lucas Young sneaks it in from the end zone and makes it 8-6. Then on the last play of the first quarter, Nate Galbraith with a sneak from the 1-yard line, and then the two-point run by Frazier made it 16-6. Second quarter was an explosion by the Warriors on the ground, especially Haley on first play of the second quarter, Turkleson picks a pass off. Then Wagner forces a fumble by Haley, and they return it 65 yards for a touchdown. The two-point conversion fails, so 16-12. Then the Warriors turn it on the ground. Naz from 42 yards out for a touchdown. Naz with the two-point run. Naz 10 yards, and Naz 26 yards with two-point runs by Galbraith and Hassel. Galbraith hooks up with Latrell Turkleson on the last play of the first half for a 46-yard touchdown pass. Then Windsor Berry scores in the third quarter. Caleb Brozick closes out the scoring with a 7-yard touchdown run and the two-point conversion. That gives us our final score, 62-12. Winner with 458 total offense compared to Wagner's 154. We have 389 yards rushing, 69 yards passing for the Warriors. 18 first downs, 20 total first downs for the Warriors compared to 7 for the Red Raiders. Galbraith 4 of 9 through the air, 69 yards and a touchdown. Lucas Young for the Red Raiders, 13 of 31, 147, 3 interceptions. Sammy Naz 8 for 123 and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Nate Galbraith 7 for 106 and 2 touchdowns. Frazier 42 yards, Haley 37 yards, Hassel 28, Cameron Kyle 25, Windsor Berry 17, Caleb 1 for 7 and a touchdown, Cameron Biggins 1 carry for 4 yards. Turkleson with that 46-yard reception. One of the nice jobs there one of the performers that stood out to us from Wagner, Davian Zephyr, 8 catches, 104 yards, made some pretty catches for the Red Raiders. Defensively, Trevor Lensing, the standout for both teams, at his linebacker spot for Wagner with 10 tackles. Winner gets a great defensive game from Latrell Turkleson. He had 2 interceptions, could have had a third, could have had a fourth. Also made a nice play on special teams too. And Chet Bryan, kind of a beast on special teams tonight, getting some tackles. Leading tackler for the Warriors was Nick Hassel with 4 solo tackles. So nice job defensively in the last 2 quarters there that we played. Sammy Naz doing a nice job on kickoffs again. Just a good way to close the season out. But draw a line in the sand, Bubba. It's playoff time.
It's playoff, and it's fun because it's kind of hectic. You're playing every 5 days. You're practicing on Saturdays or Sundays, odd times of the year or odd times of the day, and it's a lot of team preparation now. The fundamentals are there, so a lot of practice is spent, fine-tuning game plans and a lot of team practice. Team game.
Throw the records out now. Playoffs starting. Winner will most likely be hosting Bonham in the first round. Parkston up 35-0 over Bonham in the up the road here in Parkston to close their season out. Some other scores of relevance. Groton over Sisseton 17-6. That could have some PowerPoint implications. Hot Springs going into the fourth quarter leads Custer 16-6. St. Thomas More big over Mobridge. And Beersford in a shootout against Elk Point Jefferson. I believe that score was 29-26.
Winless Elk Point Jefferson?
Yes.
So another team battling.
Yep. Let's give Wagner some credit here. These kids came out and played hard for the first quarter, and really the whole game. No acts of poor sportsmanship on either team. Wagner is a proud program here. They've been very successful in their football program in the last decade, really since the playoff system started in the 80s. They've been a frequent semifinalist. They won a state championship back in the early 80s and had some great teams. Kind of disappointing to see an 0-8 season for these kids in a proud program.
Yeah, especially the way the kids come out and played hard. And played hard the whole game, just didn't execute after that first quarter like they did after the first quarter like they did in the first quarter, or else we would have been in a dogfight. But a good team, and their lack of depth showed, and we warmed out and we took care. We scored 3 times off of their turnovers. So,
well, we're going to wrap it up here. We appreciate you,
Golden Arches.
Oh, that's right. Almost forgot. Our Golden Arches player of the game, McDonald's in Winter, provides a free value meal to our player of the game. Marty, we've got a couple nominations. Sammy Nas
and
with another big game. And I'm going with Latrell Turkleson. Yeah. He's going to get my vote, number 7, with a couple interceptions and some nice play on special teams, a smart play down there on the goal line, not taking the interception. So I'm not telling you who you need to vote for, but he'll be getting my vote. We need to throw one more name up there.
Nate Galbraith threw the ball well tonight.
Yep.
Ran the ball really well and had another nice, solid defensive game.
So there's your 3 nominees for your Golden Arches player of the game: Sam Nas, Latrell Turkleson, and Nate Galbraith. Marty will wrap things up here. Any closing comments?
No, I'm hungry. Let's go home.
All right. Thank you for joining us for coverage of Winter Warrior regular season football. Folks, strap it up because you're going to be a part of Winter Warrior postseason football starting Tuesday night. Probably going to be in winter, and it's probably be against the Bonham Cavaliers. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being a part of this broadcast. You've been watching and listening to coverage of Winter Warrior football on your home of webcast for all winter sports, Winter Warriors Live.